Well, here we go. Another week of football. Some big games on tap. The Bears, again, Ed, 31-3 in the frigid cold of Soldier Field.
The more important game that everybody wants to talk about is the Dallas-Minnesota game.
Yeah, the game that you want to talk about.
I got the play-by-play, but that's going to have to wait until hour 2. Reggie Barnes sure showed us a good time in Arlington, so we're going to have to spend some time on that. But until then, I even got some pictures of the tailgate and the whole ball of wax. But instead, we need to get to some UFL talk, so let's get going.
And that's the bottom line. Want a war, you're going to get one.
The cream rise to the top, oh yeah.
Now you want to get nuts? Come on, let's get nuts.
Hard work pays off. Dreams come true. Bad times don't last, but bad guys do.
Holy smokes. The old trigger finger was a little rusty there for a while. Took me a while to get those pages going.
You know, there is so much, I mean, clearly we pull this off so easy, but it is amazing.
Make it seem like it's walk in the park, right?
Yeah, walk in the park. I mean, we've only been doing it for 3 years, but I tell you what, there's so much that goes into it. Our heads spin right before the show starts, and it's like, you hear that, bad times don't last, but bad guys do. It's just like it's game time, man.
That's right. And just to bring up, you said 3 years. This is our 3rd season. This is episode number 96. We are literally 4 away from the magical 100. So we're going to have to figure out what special things Brett and KJ are going to have to do for that episode to make that a special night.
We could. I thought about this. Well, we better spitball, and I better not throw anything out there because that might create expectations. But I have thought about what we could do on the 100th. I mean, it would be pretty interesting, some of the things we can do. But I mean, I think we've got some UFL to talk about.
Yeah,
some big UFL news.
And speaking of Arlington, I had the pleasure of being there this last weekend to go to the Dallas-Minnesota football game. And again, we'll talk about that in the second hour. But we're in our hotel, we get checked in, and lo and behold, we look across the street, and what do we see? Right, literally across the street, looking through the trees. There it is, the UFL headquarters in Arlington.
Yeah,
So,
that's where your hotel was, right across the street.
That's right, literally across the street.
And you didn't know that, did you?
No, not at the time. But then when Amanda and I, as you can see, we had to go across the street.
Right.
So just to make it real, here we are. We are right there, baby. And the funny thing about that is we walk up to the glass doors and all of a sudden they open and we're like, oh shit. And so we get away, so the door's shut. It wasn't 5 minutes later, here come the magical security golf cart heading to the front to make sure everything was all right. We're standing there with our He goes, you're good. So anyway, so it was good. I mean, we was able to look through the windows and see on the backside where the facility is, where they do their practices and stuff. It's a pretty impressive complex, that's for sure.
It's too bad you didn't realize how close it was to you. It's too bad you couldn't have got a tour. You couldn't have got to go actually into the facility.
Well, bring on our other two guys, because had I had them with me, we probably would have got a tour. But
yeah, we got Brett, KJ, fellas, how's it going?
Speaking of bad guys, yeah, I would have, if that door would have opened, I would have went through.
You absolutely would have. That's exactly what I thought.
The problem is the next set of doors was locked, because that's what he was making sure of. He didn't mind that we could get through the first set, but he wasn't getting through the second set.
Oh.
So if I was standing there with my little kit, he wouldn't have been impressed.
Man, we pull in the loop-de-loo in the hotel, and Amanda's sitting in the back seat, and she looks through the trees, and she's literally saying, that's the UFL headquarters right there. And I'm like, where? Because I still can't see through the trees. And we went ahead and got checked in. We walked across the street, big open parking lot, and there it was. It was like, oh.
Clouds party.
Only
like
true
Chevy
UFL.
Chase going to Wally World. You remember when they went to Wally World and it was closed?
I'll tell you
Chariots
what,
of fire.
it's pretty impressive. But between that whole complex, between Choctaw, the UFL headquarters, AT&T Stadium, Texas Live, we'll get into all that in the second hour. But let's get going. Let's get going on UFL talk, Brett. I thought I was going to have to talk you off the bridge yesterday. So let's split the screen and we'll kind of, let me put the pictures up of the coaches we know for sure are gone. We've got Bob Stoops. He's gone. You were making a comment that you thought that was more health related than anything.
Go ahead.
Brett, are you seriously going to break my information on this?
No. I was not even going to. I was going to bring up what I had witnessed last year, what I'd heard for the last couple of seasons. But go ahead.
So, friend of the show, Chuck Long, who was the offensive coordinator for the Arlington Renegades last year, I messaged him and I asked him, was this, kind of related to the restructuring and kind of how they were going to view head coaches going forward? Was it just time and kind of what his plans were? And he relayed to me, no, he said, it was just time. He had been contemplating it, retiring. I don't know how old Coach Stoops is for sure. But he'd been contemplating it, whether it be health reasons or age or just, it's time to go. But, with the restructuring of the how the head coaches are going to work with the UFL, it just made it, I think, probably a more of an easier break. So then I asked Coach Long, how, what's it mean for you? And he goes, he's not coming back either. So, at Dallas, it looks like it's going to be probably a whole new coaching staff for the most part. Coach Long, I know they're in their 60s, early 60s. I think Coach Long is 62. Does that sound right, Ed?
That's about right, because I was about his age and watching him in the Rose Bowl when Ronnie Harmon decided to fumble 50 times. But
Yeah, he decided all right. He was paid to fumble 50 times, but it is what it is. So yeah, I mean.
So another picture that I don't have up here that we know is gone, and that's Mike Nolan, the old Michigan Panther coach. So
that was announced substantially earlier.
Yeah, that was some time ago. That was probably relatively easy for the UFL to go ahead and announce, since the Michigan Panthers, for the time being anyway, are on hiatus, probably until that soccer park gets built. But the second coach, or I guess the third coach that we found out about yesterday, that I'll let Brett and KJ take it away, because it's really the heartbeat of the UFL spring football. So take it away, Brett.
And this was a tough one. I even broke out a reel last night in the Birmingham Stallions page and broke out some jelly roll that I'm not okay. And I think that pretty much spoke for all the Birmingham fans. There's Rapoli. Mike is taking it on the chin on X and Facebook and Instagram right now. Look, Skip was in Birmingham, from the beginning when Birmingham came back with the USFL. Coached them 4 seasons, 3 straight championships, took them to playoffs last year with a very depleted, banged up roster. He, to me, did a hell of a job with what he had last year. And dude, ask any media person that's interviewed him at any stadium, any facility. Skip is fantastic. He would, go out of his way. You remember last year I had to ask him a couple tough questions, and I found him after the press conference in the hallway, and I went to apologize to him, and he just stopped me in my tracks and put his hand on my shoulder and said, "Brett, don't you worry about that. I know." He said, "I understand." I was like, "Man, I'm sorry. I had to ask." I said, "I'm doing what I'm saying." He said, No. Skip was always so friendly, and I'm going to be honest with you, a lot of us fans would go to the events and hang out with Skip more than we did the players. He was just, he would tell you stories about going to breakfast and sitting with his father, Lou Holtz, and Bo Schembechler, and Bear Bryant, and telling us, he tried to intervene, or he tried to jump in there and say something, and his daddy said, "You shut up, son, and you listen to what we've got to say," or something to that effect. And you're not going to get that from these other coaches, man. And he was just ultra friendly to all the media in the area. The players loved him. It's a huge loss just for spring football in general. And I hate it because, I talked with him. I talked with one of his assistants multiple times a couple months ago, and they were both excited and pumped about Mike taking over, and if they were going, get some marketing going, and they already had events planned, and they had their schedule worked out, and then all of a sudden yesterday, just poof. And from what I gather, it's he wasn't going to be able to coach part-time anymore, and work for 4 months. They were going to turn it to a year-round type role. And I think he was not going to have control of the players that were going to be on his roster moving forward. They're going to do a regional draft or regional shifting. They might blow up every roster moving forward before this season and put them all in the regional spots. Kind of like what they're doing with, the head coaching announcements we've heard about today.
Well,
So,
I know that Eric and I, we had the weekly press conferences, and that he would have during the week, leading up to their games and talking about the prior games and whatnot. Doesn't matter what kind of question you asked him, it always seemed like you know, he made it sound like it was the best question of the day, and he took more than what he should have to answer the question. But that was just Skip. He was very engaging, and no question was a stupid question. And it's going to be a tough one. Do you know, is there anything on the horizons that you've heard about for him? Is there possibly some college opportunity or something like that?
I mean, you look at his record, at what he did at Louisiana Tech and East Carolina and a lot of those schools. Skip will absolutely – he's been offered – that's the frustrating part about this is I know for a fact he's been offered probably a half a dozen jobs in the last 3 years, but he really likes spring football because, you know, he could just work 3-4 months out of the year and then go home and hang out with the family. And, you know, Skip's been in coaching for quite a while. He's got a little bit of money and still really enjoys coaching, but did not want to have to go back to the full-time role and do the NIL and the transfer portal. And you know how college football is a mess now. So I really hate it. I know he was looking forward to coaching this year. That's the frustrating and upsetting part because I heard it literally from the source. And I don't know if they just had a conversation yesterday and Mike said this is how it's going to be or what all transpired. But it is unfortunate because he was really looking forward to coming back.
So then looking at this, AJ's been kind of earmarked or been rumored to be the replacement for AJ McCarron, or not AJ McCarron, excuse me, Skip Holtz. What's your initial thoughts, KJ, on if this is true? And AJ, you know, AJ was running for lieutenant governor, and the word was he was going to get into politics. He backed out of the race, and now he's rumored to be taking over head coach. How do you see this? How do you see this for Birmingham? Do you see it as a good move?
I mean, comparing the two side by side, obviously, I would always, without hesitation, give the nod to Skip in terms of just general expertise within that specific role and craft as a head coach. Regardless, I would say, you know, as Brett, I think, has already mentioned before in other feeds and things I've seen, like, you know, if you had to pick somebody to take his spot, this is not really in any way, shape, or form a bad selection on their part because of the, you know, ties that AJ has to Bama, to Crimson Country, if you will. I think, you know, for the folks outside of Steven, who he just posted his comment, you know, who may not agree with the hire and not like it, there's probably plenty of people who will still be 100% willing to back AJ despite his infancy within, you know, the coaching realm. So
what are you hearing, Brett?
Well, I'm going to try to keep my rant at a minimum for the Birmingham fans, but he stepped down from the lieutenant governor race today. And he literally said, which it was released, CBS and a couple other networks, what he said verbatim, that he had a football opportunity come up. And, you know, heard a couple of rumblings of this, you know, a couple of days ago, but I never thought nothing of it because I knew how excited Skip was to be coming back. And all that being said, I know what Mike is doing. I appreciate it. I think he has listened to the fans somewhat with the regional players, from what I gather. And AJ, let's put it this way: Birmingham fans, we've been there. The Stallions have been there 4 years. We won 3 championships. Skip took us to the playoffs last year, and you guys still can't get your ass to the stadium, and there's no excuse for it. And I love seeing the comments where, well, you know, they didn't even know the Stallions were back, or we didn't even know the Stallions were playing. If that roster was loaded up with ex-Alabama and Auburn players, there would be 15,000, 20,000 people in that stadium, just like there was at Legion Field in 2019. So I love Skip. If I could get Skip back tomorrow, I would. But I understand what Mike's trying to do because, look, AJ was a star at Alabama. He won national championships under Nick Saban. You know, if anybody can learn to coach, he's literally friends with Nick Saban. Nick Saban lives in Tuscaloosa still. You don't think AJ's going to be on his phone wearing him out? And I just feel like this is an attendance move that Mike is making, and these Birmingham fans need to understand that. Yeah, we want the quality of product to be great. We want to compete for championships because we're spoiled. We're Alabama fans and we're spoiled. We're Birmingham Stallions fans and we're spoiled. But that wasn't enough to get people's asses in the seats at Protective Stadium. And the excuses have been never ending there. So I think this is a good move for attendance, and people need to quit complaining because it is what it is. And let's get behind AJ and whatever staff he gets, and let's giddy up.
So Eric was putting up some comments. One was from Mike, who I know is a St. Louis Battlehawks fan. He made reference to the fact that this will be a year for Birmingham to basically put up or shut up as a franchise going forward, you know. And, you know, then there was another comment by Steven that basically said AJ's not going to do anything to affect attendance.
Yeah.
So,
Well, Stephen, I will say this. Since the UFL's been around, our biggest attended game was when AJ was playing quarterback for the Battlehawks. That's the problem with pro football in Birmingham, is everybody's so damn obsessed with Auburn and Alabama that if you don't have a bunch of Auburn and Alabama players, they won't go and support the team. Well, now we're going to have an ex-Alabama quarterback coach. We're probably going to have some ex-Alabama Auburn assistants. And hopefully we'll have some ex-Alabama, Auburn, UAB, Jacksonville State, Troy State players on the field. Something's got to give, fellas, because Skip Holtz was winning championships there, and we still couldn't put a decent crowd out there a lot of times. Right. So Mike said he's all in, and he's going to try some things. This is what he's trying. We don't have to like it, but we still need to get behind the players and the coaches and support it if we want the league to stay in, if we want the team to stay in Birmingham. It's time to quit whining and crying and bitching, and let's move forward.
I would agree with Brett's take on Birmingham. This both technically applies from a fan standpoint with Birmingham and Houston. This is the do or die year for both those teams, and if it doesn't deliver, I mean, there's no doubt in my mind from what we've seen from Mike already this offseason that he will, without hesitation, pull the plug on both those franchises and move them to a different city or locale that has, you know, a higher likelihood of long-term success theoretically. So
yeah, he's not messing around.
No.
Championships
he's
are
got
not.
a long-term vision and game plan, and he's going to do whatever it takes to hit those markers in a much more rapid pace than what we've seen, you know, progress-wise with past ownership.
He'll pull the plug on Birmingham. There's no question.
Yeah.
And the
Jake
thing
is correct on that statement. When we had Bo Scarborough, actually the first 2 or 3 games that he played, it made a difference in the crowd. It did. It was just one running back, but it made a difference. Now, the novelty wore off because it was one weather game one night, and then it was a day game, and then Bo got hurt. But, I mean, it's just like the first game in Columbus this year, Louisville, Orlando. Their biggest crowd this season is going to be the first game. That's just how these things roll. Unless your team ends up catching fire and 8-9-0, then yeah, they're going to start packing it. But that's unfortunately just the way it is. But overall, it absolutely helped attendance with Bo Scarborough being on the team. I mean, they've got to try something, guys. I know the Birmingham fan base don't like me, and they don't like the truth, and they've already got some's got the tinfoil hats out and the conspiracy theories. We've got to put more people in the stands. It's not rocket science. So let's give it a shot. I would love to have Skip there, but unfortunately that ship has sailed, and unfortunately Skip obviously didn't get the respect he deserved. Yeah, we're number 1 in TV viewership, but we couldn't drag our lazy butts to the stadium and support them in person.
So I was going to ask you, KJ, I think it was time. CJ Johnson also is not returning for the Houston team. So you're going to be bringing, but to me, that's probably fresh blood that was probably overdue.
Yeah.
I'm going to tell you this.
say-
Hold on,
Go ahead.
KJ. Before I'm going to be brief.
You're good. You're good.
I actually like CJ. I interviewed him several times. Got to ask him a lot of questions, and I thought the job that CJ did last year to put Houston right in the mix.
Yeah.
I think they finally got him something to work with, and he was able to make it go. But where they were one win away from being right there
in the playoffs. Yeah.
in the playoffs, and I'm like,
that was when this offseason hit. That was one thing I was like 50-50 on, honestly, because of how well they had progressed and tracked. And, you know, we've seen, despite the player turnover and stuff, obviously, with guys rolling up to the NFL and that sort of thing, I felt like there might be a better silver lining for Roughneck/Gamblers fans going into this season if they even kept CJ still because of the progress he had made through this past 2025 season. But I mean, yeah, I think the argument could still be made on the devil's advocate side of saying, well, as good as he did this year, that's still his, you know, professional ceiling, quote unquote. Because if you look at his resume, he hasn't ever done better than that. Not saying he couldn't, but, you know, just reading a tiger by its stripes, so to speak. So I get it why they made the choice. Once again, Ed, you know, touched on it. I think you got so many fresh start components in the league. This is kind of just another attribute that echoes that kind of wave of change, if you will, for better or for worse. I think I like Michael Vogel's comment he made about AJ, you know, stating how he thought he might be better as an OC. I was going to touch on that, you know, and Brett mentioned it with local guys in the coaching roster. I think it would be smart if they can keep as many of Skip's guys in the crew who are willing to stick around. I think that would do better for both AJ and the team as a whole.
Oh yeah. Continuity of the team. Absolutely.
One guy that comes to mind, and I don't know, you know, give me grace and forgiveness here. I don't know all the assistant coaches' names by heart for the Stallions, but I know one guy that is very close buddies with AJ. I don't know his propensity and desire to get into coaching, but when it comes to the quarterback room, I already know a guy I would pick by name that I know AJ would probably be even willing to hire as part of his staff, and his name's Brandon Silvers. He is a Troy grad, so you got a local guy there, just, you know.
And they are buddies. Yeah, they are buddies.
Close friends. That's why he got the job partially, or at least gelled so well when he was backing him up in St. Louis. So
yeah. Hey, I love it because Troy's got a big following there in the Birmingham area.
So as we've touched on, AJ's not a for sure, but it sounds like that's going to be the new head coach at Birmingham. We also got word that Shannon Harris is returning to DC. I think everybody knew that. He had went off to help Reggie Barlow with his team.
Tennessee State job.
Yeah, Tennessee State. So he's coming back. I was waiting for clarification because I thought, you know, I think it was always the idea that Shannon Harris was going to return to coach, but with this new requirement of the head coaches kind of taking over a year-round position, I didn't know what that would do to as far as Shannon Harris's commitment. But as far as we know so far, he's still returning to DC. The other one that was just announced that makes perfect sense as Brett continues to pound on the fact that making these teams all have regional touches to them. Ted Ginn Jr., standout wide receiver for the Ohio State Buckeyes, that went on to the NFL and had a stint at Miami with the Miami Dolphins and the Carolina Panthers. He was a superstar in Ohio State Buckeye football. So to bring him back to Columbus as the head coach, again, Brett, that makes perfect sense.
Absolutely. I saw a lot of the news networks post that today from Columbus. I saw a lot of the Ohio State sites and pages share it. The New Orleans Saints page shared it. Their names, man, they were successful in college, AJ and Yen. They were successful in the pros. No, AJ was never a big-time starter, had a long career, and had some good had some good games when he did play. This is what they're going for. And look, we like it or lump it, but ultimately this is these guys. It's an attendance move first and foremost because we got to get ticket sales up. We got to get revenue up. That's part of it. And you know, again, one more and I'll shut up. It's a damn shame what happened in Birmingham and with Skip. Just a damn shame. We had literally, it was a blast going to these games and literally had a dynasty rolling. There's no doubt in my mind we would have been back in the playoffs again this year. But for some reason, that wasn't enough to get people out to the stadium. And now, you know, us diehards want to whine and complain that they're trying something else. Well, what else are they supposed to do? We're lucky to even have a team. And I'll leave it at that.
Yeah,
Well,
Christopher's
go ahead, KJ.
point here. I think we discussed this earlier this offseason. I want to say, correct me if I'm incorrect here, but I think Rapoli's intent, Christopher, is to keep a big chunk of, I'd say, some of the rollover players from last year. They are still intending to roll out this kind of regional strategy or system with regards to teams picking up players. But I want to say for 2026, Rapoli is not planning to like fully scrub the rosters of every single pre-existing team and not let those guys remain on those squads. So obviously the particulars of that will be ironed out as we get further into, you know, January and February, I'm sure. But I don't think, for instance, like guys like, you know, McCarron is going to leave Houston, for instance, you know, any other notable player that was on the starting squads of the Stallions, Houston, DC are going to be leaving theoretically. Now you may have one or two guys. I was honestly, HA was in my mindset of somebody potentially who, you know, if they came back, probably wouldn't go to St. Louis as a player if they were going to be playing. And, you know, might try to take their jive in another squad, for instance, and even potentially pair up with Skip as a player because you want to get a change of scenery as somebody who's played in the league before and maybe not found the ultimate climax of success making it to the championship game. But I don't think they're going to fully screw up the rosters, Christopher. I want to say that's the intent, at least this first season. So,
Well, I know that the only thing I was going to add, Eric, is the fact that they changed it this year so that any players that have been in the league for 2 years can become free agents. I know that some of the teams already had some limited signings. I know that the Battlehawks already have Travis Feeney and PETA. I think they've got their third string running back from last year, Kevon. I can't think of his last name. But I think the teams throughout the league have very limited rosters of players that have already signed with their teams. But I think the free agency period ramps up here soon, and that can totally change the face of what these teams are going to be, what the rosters are going to look like going forward.
Well, looking at the coaches, talking about butts and seats, talking about the rosters and everything, there was a question in the comment line that we were going to get to. Big Mike, UFL is trying to get John Gruden to be the commissioner of the UFL. And I have seen that multiple reports. Now, when you talk about generating buzz for the league, would this be good for the league, Brett, in your opinion? Or would this be bad for the league, in your opinion?
Man, it'd be fantastic for the league.
I agree.
It'd be absolutely fantastic. If you're one of those weaklings that getting your feels real easy because somebody said a curse word or somebody said the KJ already knows what I'm referring to, then your ass ain't a real football fan anyways. Carry on. Gruden would be an absolute fantastic move for the league, in my opinion. Yeah. I saw one of the guys' comments. Yeah, some of the scheduling was bad last year in Birmingham, but Steve, we've run out of excuses. We just have, and I think the other three guys on the show will agree with me. I know I'm the Birmingham guy, but hadn't Birmingham run out of excuses, fellas?
Yes. They have.
Um,
I mean, there's no excuses for being in the playoffs 4 years, winning 3 championships, and not having more than 7,000 or 8,000 in the stadium. Sorry.
And the Mother's Day game, I get that. That's totally on the league. That's why I blew up last year. That's the only league in the scheduling stupidity. So, I'm not even talking about that game.
Right. There's also there's rumors going around as well about Gruden being made the head coach of the Battlehawks. As far as we know, currently, Coach Beck is still the coach of the St. Louis Battlehawks that we know. Right now, what we know is Beck and Harris right now are the ones in the position to return to their teams. The other 6 will obviously have new coaches, which I think is a distinct advantage to DC and St. Louis. Yeah. That continuity, the continuity of coaches, those types of things is certainly an advantage because as obviously people are, they're mixed. AJ could backfire, I get it. So you don't know what you're getting with those teams. You don't know what those new head coaches are bringing. So, I mean, it would definitely be an advantage if Anthony Beck returns to St. Louis and of course, Coach Harris is returning to DC. So that would be an advantage for those squads, no question.
But you also gotta remember too, if we're going to talk about, it becoming more regionally based, Anthony Beck lives in Florida,
Right.
in the Orlando area. So, with the new Florida team,
Switch it up.
And I can speak as a St. Louis Battlehawks fan. I have not seen anything concrete around here that's being announced to give the idea that Anthony Beck is back with the Battlehawks. So, it's kind of hard to say whether that's going to happen 100% or not. But we know that Louisville hasn't named their head coach. Who else we got? Florida hasn't.
Houston, Dallas, Orlando.
Orlando hasn't announced theirs. The Gamblers.
Birmingham, technically, although I'm told the AJ announcement's going to come tomorrow is what I'm told. We'll find out for sure.
The biggest thing I would say for those who are maybe new to the scene or even the fans that have been following through the summer and just haven't made a significant note of this, we've already seen Mike being willing to shake things up, if you will, to start anew. The biggest other point I'll harp on, though, and remind fans of, if they're ignorant of this, is the fact that this man, at least, whether you like his choices or not, you can attest to the man's integrity. And what I mean by that is that when he alludes to something, he almost has a zealous religious adherence to it. And I can only affirm that with very few exceptions, such as Birmingham staying in Protective Stadium as one. But when he hinted at this whole, we're going to use soccer stadium, pairing thing to downsize the venue, he's done that almost across the entire board with these new teams you've seen come in. The only teams, like I said, that the exceptions are Birmingham and St. Louis as it stands now. Every other team, even Houston, who's pre-existing, has been shifted to a soccer venue. So if the man hints at something, you can almost bet with almost 100% perfection he's going to follow through with his alleged, reach, if you will, or comment that he hints at. I say all that to say, everybody over the next few months or next month, I guess, because hopefully by the end of January, we'll have all these locked in. I think they've already committed to that with coaches. You'll see these guys probably get picked, and most all of them will probably have a regional tie to the whatever team they get assigned to. It's almost a lock, I think, based on what we're seeing with AJ potentially getting hired. That'll be potentially tomorrow. And then, with Beck not being relocked in, there's no telling. So,
right.
So
one guy they haven't mentioned, and I don't know if he'll get a shot or not, but I've seen some fans, throw their griping complaints about what's his face getting picked up for the Aviators and not having a lot of head coaching experience. Is Jaron Horton, he has a big fan following from seasons before, defensive coordinator from the Showboat squad. If they wanted to try to play on that fan appeal and not necessarily directly the regional component, that would be one guy's name I would throw into the hat for consideration, at least, whether it be Louisville or some other role. So
yeah, if our current DC doesn't stay, I'd love for AJ to grab him and ask him, hey, will you be a DC with me in Birmingham? I'd love to have him.
Hey, AJ to Birmingham would create an automatic rivalry between St. Louis and Birmingham. I was talking with Big Mike, and Big Mike's like, AJ would love to get St. Louis every year, and they would love to get him. Just by the way that divorce kind of happened, that.
Yeah.
So let's we got to get moving on to college football, so we get done before midnight. So having said that, let's bring on Chad, our staunch college wizard,
who has been actively politicking. Chad has been actively politicking for a 32-team playoff for a long time. We've had to talk him off
just
the
go
edge.
64 in 12 playing games. That's what we need. 64 teams and 12 playing games. That'll get it just right.
Can we do a graphic where money's pouring on him when we do this?
Yeah. I mean, Chad,
we
we've told you how many
delete the conferences and have a round robin scrimmage.
Yeah.
The best teams with the best record at the end of the year. That's who goes in.
How many times
what you do is the college football season now starts April 1st to get this 64 team 12 playing game season going. That's
better yet,
because you'll have 3 regular season games, and from those 3 regular season games, you'll seat everyone, all 85 teams to get in the play to include the playing games. That's
then when the tournament starts, it's going to be a best out of 3, right?
Yes.
Well, either best out of 3 or we're going double elimination. One of the
the tournament then starts May and then runs through New Year.
But Chad, I have said this multiple times when you bring this up. I'm like, listen, if we go 64, number 65 is going to be complaining that they didn't get in.
That's why I said there's 64
it's not going to work.
plus 12 playing games. So that's another 24 teams.
Yeah, but then number 90 is going to be complaining.
88 teams.
You can't do that.
Perfect. That's a perfect 88 teams. That's why I'm saying the three game regular season starts April 1st, and then after that they'll seed the teams, and with the championship game being New Year's Day.
Now, does Notre Dame get an automatic bye for the first 3 games?
Are they guaranteed to be in the top 10?
They're automatically in the championship game. So really, there's 88 teams just playing for one spot.
As long as they're ranked in the top 25, they're automatically in the semifinals.
Yeah, as long as they're ranked in the top 88 teams, are automatically in the championship game.
Jesus. Okay. Listen, when it comes to college, here's how we're rolling. We are bringing up each game, and we're just going to dissect the game. We're going to go through it. We're going to make our picks after each game because we're down to about 30 minutes because Brett talks too long on the UFL. Well, we're going to blame you, Brett.
The last 20 minutes of that, and you all were talking too much. And I've never heard KJ speak so much. In 15 weeks we've been doing this. KJ, where you been, homie?
Pick a topic I can actually speak on. I'm sorry, I have to drive between Nashville and Memphis twice a month, so I don't get the leisure of being able to sit on my couch and watch pro football all Sunday like some of you gents.
Well,
I know what they say. Excuses are like,
Listen, we all make choices, KJ. Some of us just make better choices than others. I don't know what to say.
No, that's not true.
That's like that Gold Bone song, when it we had choices.
KJ, hold on a second. You say you only like to speak on things you know about. Eric talks an hour and a half every week on shit he has no clue about. None. 0. Okay, go ahead.
So the first college game we're going to talk about happens this Friday night. It's a rematch between Alabama and Oklahoma, where Oklahoma got the best of them the first time around, only because Alabama turned the ball over, 3 or 4 times, Brett?
Yeah, it was not good.
Thanks for the insight, Brett.
Yeah. 400 yards to 200 yards. Problem is, we had a shanked field goal and 3 turnovers, and 17 points off that 3 turnovers. I think Bama lost by 2. Yeah, it was. Got to hold on to the ball, fellas.
Brett, I saw a stat today. Bama hasn't lost twice in one season to a team since when?
It's over 100 years ago. Like 18. What was it?
1893.
130 years.
That Ed was in short pants in 1893.
That's for sure.
Ed had a hoop and a stick, and he was running down the street, rolling that hoop with the stick in 1893.
One thing of note, earlier this week, when the line come out, the Vegas odds, Alabama was favored by 1.5. Now Oklahoma's favored by 1.5. So it's flipped 3 points in the course of 3 days.
Ooh.
Okay, Brett, here's the question I have for you. Because I've gone back and forth on this pick a couple of times. We know Ty Simpson's back is screwed. Okay. We know he's got some.
Still denying that publicly, by the way.
Yeah. Well, we know that's true.
Right.
And he hasn't looked right since. Do we trust that Alabama's going to hold on to the ball and they're going to keep the 130 years rolling? Or do you see potentially where Alabama's in trouble here?
Well, you know, I always pick against my team, but Alabama's going to win this game. They're just the better team. From what I gather, we're the healthiest we've been in about 4 weeks defensively. Our star tight end is going to be in action. And reportedly, Ty is finally back healthy enough to be throwing the ball downfield, which the last 3-4 weeks, if you notice, he hasn't done that because he wasn't able, from what I was told. Look, Alabama's got flaws just like just about every team in this playoff, but Alabama is the better team. And now I can't control whether they have 3-4 turnovers again, but if the turnover battle's even, Alabama will win this game by 10 in Norman.
Now, real quick, I'll bring this up. You know, like I said, I was entertained in Dallas, Arlington for this game the last weekend by Reggie Barnes, who is a former Dallas Cowboy, Pittsburgh Steeler, Super Bowl champion. And here's a picture. He was sporting the championship ring at Texas Live on Sunday. He is a Oklahoma graduate, and he bleeds red. He even had he had the fanciest looking, prettiest looking diesel truck I've ever seen, sporting the Oklahoma Sooner red. And he said that he's making plans for the Rose Bowl. So that tells you right there that he fully expects Oklahoma to take care of business again coming up on Friday night. And he's already talking about Indiana.
Well, he'll love to watch Indiana and Alabama play because that's who he's going to be watching. Now, if he wants to give me his tickets, you know, I'll take them to the Rose Bowl. But if he expects to see his team at the Rose Bowl, I hope they're playing UCLA next year because that's not happening.
So you're picking Oklahoma to win the game. Got it. Brett, that's what everybody got from that, right?
Brett, you're actually picking Alabama.
Yeah, he's picking Alabama to win the game. You're picking
Alabama by 10.
I'm actually going to put Brett down, and I'm going to go plus 10 here just to make sure I got that right. Hey, Brett, Jay says there was another team that was causing those damn turnovers. He's like, damn, come on, guys.
I'm very aware of that, Jay. I'm very aware of that. I'm very aware also that when did your team play, Jay? I can't remember. Can somebody pull up the schedule and see when Auburn plays again? Oh, that's right. They don't. No, they don't. I love you, Jay. He's a Stallions brother, but he is an Auburn fan, so we have to mess with each other every chance we get.
It seems like it's every single show and probably 4 or 5 times during the week. So yeah, I get that. So, I mean, I'm with you, Brett. I do think Alabama wins this game, even being at Oklahoma. It did take, the 3 or 4 turnovers the last game. I mean, what are the odds of that happening again? It very well could happen, but the odds to me say it's not going to. And let's face it, Oklahoma's big knock is offense. They're just not,
Right.
I mean, I think the Alabama defense, the Oklahoma defense, I might give the nod to Oklahoma a little bit.
Yeah, slight nod.
Slight nod, but offensively, I think I give an even bigger nod to the Alabama offense. And I think that's where the difference is going to be if they hold on to the ball.
Just make sure whoever's shooting tie up before the game, make sure they hit the right spot, baby. Let's roll.
I can tell you, Henry took Oklahoma. Big Mike took Oklahoma. I can't read exactly what Jay said, but from what I gather, Jay is picking Alabama. All he said at the end, I can't read that. He just said, I wanted to vomit typing it. John David says Oklahoma by 50.
Hey, John David, when does Notre Dame play again?
I knew that was coming. I knew that was coming.
That for the thumbnail for our video.
Marty's got Alabama. So yeah, I mean, I'm with Brett. I got to give the nod to Alabama if they hold on to the ball.
I got to give John David credit though. He picked my by 50, so that was good. I give him credit on that one.
Right.
And if they beat Alabama by 50, I'm gonna start a moving company, and my first client is gonna be Coach DeBoer.
Marty's got him by 14, Brett. So you're a little shy. KJ, who you got?
Man, after looking at stats and really doing a cross comparison here, I thought I had my mind made up, but y'all caused me to want to flip flop. So I think, in the playoffs of all places, it's really when your QB play is going to shine through, or the chinks in the armor are going to shine through to Brett's point.
Yeah.
On that evaluative factor alone, I'm going to, I guess, jump on the bandwagon in this case and go with Bama as well.
You mean we changed your mind? Damn it, Brett. Why would we do that? We should have said, listen, if you don't have much to add, just give your picks now, and then whoever wants to add something will do it afterwards.
Hey, I don't know why you all don't pick Oklahoma, because y'all know I can't pick my nose. So
that's true.
It's not so much your pick, Brett, as it is, I think, the historic factor. And then when I really started, like I said, comparing them side by side, John's got way more interceptions in terms of total count. And then when you compare it to his kind of, I forget what the acronym or catchphrase they would use, but basically your percentage comparison to how many touchdowns you throw versus picks.
Man, it's tough to beat a team twice in 1 year.
Higher, yeah. So the other part of it too is if you want to just look at by proxy, Ty's last game against Georgia, yeah, granted they lost, but he only threw 1 pick in that game, and John threw up 3 against LSU. So it just, to me, that screams not only questioning his ability to deliver in clutch time, but more to the how much film is out there that DeBoer is going to be sitting there picking apart like a kid eating candy, going, all right, our defensive guys are going to be looking for this, and that, so we can just pick him apart throughout the game. Or at least that would be my thought process on it.
Look, they pretty much outplayed Oklahoma up and down that field in Tuscaloosa, but they got what they deserve. You turn the ball over that many times, you get what you deserve.
Okay, Chad, who you got?
Well, I tell you what, I was going Bama, but KJ convinced me. Give me the Boomer Sooners. Screw the 132-year history.
He's
I'm
at
going.
the bottom of the leaderboard, folks. He's got nothing to lose. So
Actually,
I'm not gonna catch anybody, so it doesn't matter.
Chad's in the middle. I mean, it's Ed and then Brett's at the bottom.
Okay, fair enough.
So,
That's right. That's
yeah.
true. I was cutting off Chad's legs too much there.
So
No, I
since
can't.
Ed's
There's
close
no
to
way
the
I can catch
bottom,
up.
since Ed's close to the bottom, we'll let him go last here.
So what is a Sooner? No, I'm just.
We don't have that kind of time. We do not have that kind of time.
Every Texan native asked that very question. And
So the only thing I would say is it's kind of like what they said about the Chiefs all year long. They were 5-5, then they were 6-6, and what they keep saying, oh, we can run the table, and eventually you are what you know. It is what it is. You are what your record says you are, and when you look at Alabama, they just haven't played good football for the last 3 or 4 games. And I don't know that all of a sudden you can turn on a switch and all of a sudden go into a playoff game at Oklahoma and come away with a win. So with having that said, I'm taking Oklahoma. Reggie Barnes convinced me that Oklahoma is the team that's going to the Rose Bowl to play in the Indiana Hoosiers.
And that's why you're at the bottom. Okay.
We could go into the specifics of why I'm at the bottom.
Oh,
But
man.
everybody knows my history, so
Yeah.
people, goodness.
Whoa, this is a
Jeez, we just turned
family-friendly show.
Yeah, he
Look
just turned a
at that.
family-friendly show into jeez. Anyway, next game. Probably the last good game we'll talk about. Number 10, Miami at number 7, Texas A&M. Texas A&M is a 3.5-point favorite in this matchup. Go ahead, Ed.
You know that the John Davids of the Notre Dame world is watching this game, and they are ready to pounce if Miami doesn't put a good showing together here. All you're going to see on social media is, see, Notre Dame should have been in there.
Texas A&M by 100, John David says.
Yeah, and if they would have been playing Notre Dame, it'd be by 120, bud.
Oh, ooh. Listen, here's the deal. You know, I've said this. Let's say Notre Dame is a better pick than Miami. Okay. But here's the deal. Notre Dame had their opportunity to beat Miami head-to-head, and they did not.
Yep.
It's regardless of when it happened, they played head-to-head, and they didn't win. Now, we can sit here and argue why we believe right now Notre Dame is a better team. I get that. And I think you can make a hell of an argument that Notre Dame is a better team than Miami right now. But they played head-to-head, and Miami won. If you're going to go against head-to-heads and you're going to select team, then like Chad said, we could use Chad's idea. Let's just play 3 regular season games and put all the big brands in there. And have a 64. I mean, I'm not up for the 64, but Chad is. So, but I mean, we could,
I thought Chad would get a kick out of that comment. Jay said, "Hey, I actually agree with something Chad said."
Jay, I thought you had a higher IQ than that. I thought you knew most of the things I said.
It can't be that damn high. He's an Auburn fan. Don't give him that much credit.
Oh, well, it's what it is. It's that 11th toe. It throws him off when he counts.
I will give John David credit for this comment. No, it would be A&M by 1 with a hole at the end of the game on the last second touchdown that wasn't called.
Somebody's been holding on to that one since what we
actually, you know what?
Good for John David. He came off the top rope on that one.
This game, I have no idea why they're not calling this the Notre Dame Bowl. because these are the two teams that beat Notre Dame and kept them out of the playoff. This is the Notre Dame Bowl.
That's dirty, but so good at the same time.
Join a conference.
John David's taking shrapnel tonight. He's going to hate every one of us but Ed.
Well, I know he did not watch the shows when we talked about why teams were in and why teams were out, because he would have been commenting like a mother. So
Oh, yeah, he would have. Yeah.
You did miss it. You had your chance to speak up, and you weren't there that night. But
He probably would have got kicked off the internet for a week or two.
So, Ed, I'm going to give you your first shot without giving us the storybook chapter on Miami, Texas A&M. So go.
I had to. I'd be remiss if I didn't turn the page back just for a second to our UFL segment, because I was remiss by not announcing that. Chad's he's always that guy that won't buy into the UFL, so he takes the UFL season off. So, an on-the-spot reporter that happens to be my daughter and Eric's, what would be your aunt? No,
What?
yeah,
Cousin.
My cousin.
no,
Jesus.
His cousin.
My
It's your
first cousin.
sister's.
Oh yeah, that's
son,
right.
man.
That's right. That's
Jeez.
right. I got Gene confused with.
You're
America.
from Iowa, not Alabama. You're sure of who your cousins and sisters and nieces and nephews are, and they don't intermingle. They just stay in one category.
For a minute, I thought I was Somalian, but anyway.
Oh, geez.
But anyway, she's going to be our joining the team and being our on-the-spot reporter, and we're going to bring a little female look to the bottom line come UFL season.
Jeez,
But
I don't know about the female aspect of it, but we'll give it a shot. Right, Amanda? I'm just waiting for a comment to blow up now.
People are probably getting tired of looking at our ugly mugs. I'm just saying.
Yeah, well, dress her up and
yeah,
Yeah. Vanna White.
yeah.
And then she kicks all your butts.
Yeah.
she's going to be able to get interviews that we can only dream of getting.
See, that's the best she can come up
We
with.
just need to
That's the
change
best
the
she
show
can
name.
come up with.
Shut up, Eric.
So anyway, you wanted me to talk about a hurricane
No.
versus the Aggies.
Category 5. It's not a big deal.
I think Notre Dame is going to have an argument after this game, because I think Texas A&M is going to pull this game out, and I don't think it's going to necessarily be close. I got Texas A&M by at least 14.
Chad,
Gig 'em.
KJ,
Yeah, I'm 100% on the A&M train here. I do think the Hurricanes got cheated out of getting their proper day in the light for their corresponding championship game, but I think that's about as far as their glory goes this year. So.
I also have A&M. Brett, are you going with the Hurricanes?
Back to what Ed said a minute ago. I mean, if you look back at the last game that Texas A&M played this year against their rival, the Longhorns, they didn't look good. They didn't look good at all. Do they bounce back from that? I mean, I know they're at home. I know it's a playoff game, but it's 11 o'clock start. But there again, Beck's you probably going to throw 3 or 4 picks. Give me A&M by 2.
Jeez.
Last second field goal.
Oh, yeah, you and your last second field goals. Big Mike's got Texas A&M by 21, so we'll see who's closer. You or Big Mike. 2 or Henry's got Texas A&M. Marty's got Texas A&M. John David, Texas A&M by 100. I don't know. I mean, Jay, I don't think yes, he has Texas A&M as well. Okay, next game.
So who did you take A&M there, Eric?
Yeah, it's a sweep. just like these next two games are going to be. Tulane at number 11, Tulane at number 6, Ole Miss.
I don't know. KJ's usually on a hot streak, so I don't know. He might go out on a limb and take one of these just to catch you.
Yeah, Ole Miss is a 17.5-point favorite in a playoff game that everybody says they want good games, but yet it's a 17.5-point favorite. I'm going to be the first one to break the ice here, and I'm going to go out on a limb, and I'm going to take Ole Miss. Oh, I about said Tulane. Brett, who you got?
Mighty, tiny, gosh almighty.
I'm going to go as Ole Miss there.
Yep.
I mean, the thing about it is I don't even know what to say about this game. Like, I don't believe Tulane deserves to be there.
No.
I know Ole Miss has all sorts of problems, but
Did Tulane lose their head coach?
Yeah, but Cheryl's coaching.
Yeah, he's coaching.
Taking around the
He's
show.
a new Florida coach, but he has stayed to coaching.
He stayed to coach.
Yeah.
So did their OC take off on a plane and then come back?
Ole Misses did, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Charlie Weiss Jr.
Give me Tulane. The Green Wave are going to take it over. They're going to win this game. Oh, I'll take Tulane. I don't give a shit.
You're taking Tulane?
I'll take Tulane.
Okay.
The Green Wave.
KJ?
That's the most disingenuous pick of the season, folks. Y'all should take notes right there.
I think Ole Miss could be a gigantic mess.
I will concede that if you have to put
I think that they are going to be. I think there's a good chance that they're going to be discombobulated. They're going to be. They're not going to be there. There's going to be all kinds of questions leading up to the game, coaching staff, all this stuff. I'm not, dude. I can't catch you. This is not a conspiracy, KJ. I can't catch you.
No, I think it's just you doing it to.
I don't think
three words come to mind.
Tulane.
Pink freaking golden.
I don't think Jay agrees with you on this, Chad. They could play 100 times and Ole Miss would win 102 of them.
That's definitely not true. I would agree. In a past season, when they had equal or greater success, I would be willing to give it to them. And I'll even concede the instability you're pointing out, Chad. It's a very real factor. But I think they haven't played enough. They haven't played anybody real notable this season outside of years past when they've had equal or better success. I don't think they stand a chance. It may be a close game, and I'll concede it's probably the more if out of the two games between Tulane and Ole Miss and JMU and Oregon, I would definitely give it to Tulane having a higher potential to win and get the upset. But I just don't think it's going to happen. I'm with the Rebels.
What you think?
Jay, get ready to. I hope you like Crow.
Oh man, you know what? Just for that simply right there, I'm gonna pull for Tulane, even though I don't think they have a chance to win. Just because, man, Jay, if Tulane somehow pulls this out, he's gonna be unbearable.
So Eric decided.
If Tulane pulls this out, don't worry, baby. You are my new prison girlfriend. Real special, Jay. Treat you real special.
Eric decided that if anybody on the panel wants to take Tulane and the points, that it's going to be worth 10 in the overall record.
That is not what I said, and it's
There
not
you go.
going to happen.
There you go, baby.
I have been politicking to pick these games on points forever.
Yep. No,
And
this
nobody
game's
wants to do
insane. I deserve that, Ed. That is correct.
Yeah, right. Ed, I'm assuming
Ed makes the rules. Ed makes the rules. He just made a rule.
not this really doesn't. Not this really doesn't. Old Miss Ed.
Look what Jay said there.
What did you say?
If Tulane wins the game, he'll come on the show and bow down to Chad.
Jeez, now I'm really rooting for Tulane. I'm really going to root for Tulane now. I'm assuming Old Miss Ed because you don't want to fall further behind. Yeah, that's what I thought.
I had a whole story, but you probably don't want to hear it. So
No, we don't have that kind of time. Last college game, James Madison. Would you quit clicking it, Ed? I got it. James Madison, the number 12 team, at the number 5 team, Oregon. In one of these probably closer than it's going to be games, Oregon is somehow favored by 21. Anybody?
These are great matchup.
Yeah,
Great
Chad.
matchup.
Do you want to take? Do you want to go on a limb and take James Madison, or are you going with Oregon?
Give me them fighting ducks. Give me them.
Brett.
Give me them Donalds, baby. Give me them Donalds.
No.
Take them.
Daffy Donald Duck. By 50. By 50.
Yeah. KJ.
Yeah, definitely.
Don't tell me you have analysis on this game. Let's just pick Oregon and move along. What do you think? Take James Madison, please.
Me?
No,
You not
KJ.
hear me? I said Oregon.
Oh, okay.
I said Oregon. I don't know.
I thought KJ was sitting there thinking about it.
Yeah, he was clicking on stuff. I'm like, there's no
Hey,
analysis that KJ can find to convince me that he's taking anybody but Oregon.
Ed, KJ, Ed made the rule.
Filibuster over here for the past 10 minutes and then gripe at me because I made 2 comments about it. You know,
Hey, KJ, if you take James Madison the points and you win, it's 10 games, buddy.
we're not picking on the points.
can't-
One
You
and
can,
two.
well,
I'm
for
not,
these games,
there's equal
Ed
risk
said
and
for
reward
these 2
factor here,
games,
Chad. I know you don't
these
understand
2
how to make
games.
good picks, but you know,
oh shit! Son. Oh my god!
Man, who'd have thought the feistiness would come out on the Tulane Ole Miss game and the James Madison Oregon game?
No matter how many times you fix them glasses, it ain't gonna help. Ed, we got them points in this game. It's Ed's show. He makes the rules. I'm sorry.
Yeah, Ed's gonna get vetoed on that one. Ed, I'm assuming you're taking James Madison on this. You got a story or?
No, I'll be watching this game fully aware of the fact that by halftime I'll be able to go out and mow the yard, scoop snow, whatever, because the second half will mean absolutely nothing. So
you mow in December, Ed. That's it.
we was actually mowing up till a couple weeks ago, but
Oh my gosh.
damn, when it turned cold, it turned cold.
This I know this is going to come as a shock, but everybody on the pick'em line took Oregon as well. Marty has Oregon by 31. Big Mike's got him by 24. John David has Oregon by 1,000. So I mean, I'm going to be. Just for the sake of chaos, because they've really screwed this championship bracket up.
Don't do it.
I'm going to be rooting for Tulane and James Madison, but it just ain't going to happen. So I think the picks are safe. But I am kind of really rooting for Tulane just so Jay has to come on and bow down to Chad because that would be absolutely hilarious. So
my new name is Jay's daddy. So.
He's not going to forget it either. So he is not going to forget it either.
If I lose it, it'll be in my rearview mirror. I don't care.
Chad's on a win-win here. Chad's on a win-win run here.
Yep.
Yeah. So college-wise, anything else for the good of the cause? Those are our 4 games. I think, KJ, would you agree? I think Alabama and Oklahoma is the best game. Don't you think?
Yeah, out of these 4 for sure, no doubt.
And would you agree that Miami and Texas A&M could be one of those, I don't know, turn the ball over less type of games? Beck's going to throw interceptions.
If you want an easy Vegas money line, that's probably the number one thing you should bet on for all those.
The over-under on Beck's interceptions?
Well, yeah, something to that effect.
Yeah. And then the last 2 games, they are what they are. I think these
better than Beck throwing a pick is the sun rising and setting as it normally always does.
Yeah, you're right. Are these, and somebody may know this, are these, I know we've only had it 2 years, But are these the highest point spreads in games ever coming out?
When the playoffs, I would imagine so.
They almost
They're
gotta
insane.
be, don't they? Do you have that, KJ?
And I'm gonna be honest with you, I think they're both low.
I don't have
I
it
do
pulled up.
too.
I will say this: I don't think Ed's formally announced it yet on this evening's show. But since we won't be airing next week because of the holiday, I would just like to take this time to apologize to any Nittany Lions fans, Georgia Tech Yellow Jackets, or LSU Tiger fans, because in my personal opinion, all three of those games will be exciting but the next weekend. But your big man in charge chose not to include any of those games in our pick'ems. So shout out to the little guys, I guess you want to call them that.
Yeah, the bowl games are going to die, KJ. So they're, I mean.
Well, we don't have to just
The
laugh
only
and
bowl
watch it
game-
burn. We can still enjoy them while they're here, Aaron.
The only bowl game that is the Vanderbilt Iowa game. Other than that, the rest of the bowl games, absolutely nothing.
Well, I was the biased one on this panel. I guess I was wrong.
So anyway, Eric, take us to a break so that we can come back and get going on the NFL segment.
Yeah, we definitely have the NFL. So we will be right back. Hey, Ed, while I'm thinking about this, is there any chance that you or Aunt Jolene are bringing some wine home for Jill and I?
Well, I'm sure glad you gave me plenty of notice.
I saw the commercial. I'm like, oh my God, Ed's coming home. Like, we're out of wine. Like, I mean,
You put in an order and I'll make it happen tomorrow.
do you remember which ones we got the last time? Probably not.
Jesus Christ, you can't even remember what you had? But it was so good, I need some more.
I got the bottles at home yet. We saved them, but I'm like, I'm at my office, so I don't really have the right on top of it, like, because they were good.
You saved the bottles?
Yeah.
Well, look and let me know.
Okay.
But let me know soon because
I'll let you know when I get home tonight.
by noon.
Yeah.
So now that we're in the NFL segment, I'm going to start off by giving you a little recap of my weekend in Arlington for the big Dallas, Minnesota football game. So we get to our hotel on Saturday. We decide we're all checked in, and between Choctaw and AT&T Stadium, they have a place called Texas Live, which is, if you took Ballpark Village in St. Louis and made it like 5 times bigger, you would have Texas Live, okay? So we jump in the car and we get an Uber to Texas Live. And we get out, of course, the Uber's gone. We turn around and we look, there's a sign. Texas Live is closed for a private party. And we're like, you gotta be shitting me. So we get on the phone. We call another Uber driver, comes, picks us up, drives us clear on the other side of the interstate. We end up going to the Social House. And we eat there, had some good drinks, whatever. Come to find out, when we got back to the hotel that night, you know what the close for private event was?
I know.
Jake Reed, former wide receiver for the Minnesota Vikings, did a private event for a Minnesota Viking tailgate.
Nice.
The whole Texas Live was reserved, who has multiple restaurants. All the TVs, everything was all reserved for Viking fans.
Except
And
you.
we bolted.
We bolted.
Let me tell you, say what you want about Minnesota fans, they travel. But, so Sunday we go back to Texas Live to be a part of it all Sunday afternoon. I'll bet you, I'd be willing to bet if it wasn't half Cowboy, half Viking fans, I'd be surprised. But right in the middle of it all, what do I run into? Let me part things here a little bit so I can. Would you stop that? Hold on a minute.
I didn't click anything, man.
Did you?
2 freaking Bear fans.
Yeah,
What?
baby.
Shout out goes to Connor Kroger, the number 54 Urlacher on the right. He was there with his girlfriend and her best friend. One was a Cowboy fan and one was a Viking fan. So then the gentleman on the left, you're going to like this. You're going to like this jacket. I had him turn around, and here's what the back looked like. Is that not a nice looking jacket?
That a boy. Representing in Dallas.
In Dallas.
Listen, Ed, regardless of what happens the rest of the season.
So I'm like, are you guys stupid? Because you've got Green Bay playing in Chicago. One of their biggest games is coming up. And instead of sitting at the TV watching the Brownies game against Chicago, they're partying with Viking fans. They're sitting at our table partying with us. So does that make them big time Chicago Bear fans or just?
No, see, Ed, they were undercover. They were there to get pictures of all the Viking fans, all the male Viking fans dressed up in their cheerleader costumes. That's what they were there for. We've got the pictures incoming. Your legs don't look that good. Just letting you know, you shouldn't wear that.
So moving on to the tailgate. Again, Reggie Barnes was the host of the tailgate. He knows what he's doing because what does he bring in? He brings in a guy to smoke ribs and burn-ins, and we had there he is right there. I tell you what, it was so freaking cold that night. I'm officially soft because the side of his smoker where he was putting the logs in, we were all gathered around just to stay warm. But it was probably upper 20s and the wind was blowing like a bitch. My giblets, man. My giblets were hiding for sure.
Were you wearing shorts?
Were you wearing shorts?
No, I had jeans on.
Oh.
That's how soft.
You wore jeans?
I wore jeans, yeah.
Oh, my word.
So there's something.
Just a second. Everybody needs to know. He's an Iowa boy, but he was a thick Iowa boy, which means he only wears shorts and sleeveless t-shirts in the wintertime. It can be 20 below. Ed shows up at your front doorstep wearing shorts and a sleeveless t-shirt and ready to watch some football.
He's not lying.
I am not lying. I am not exaggerating.
But what I have found out over the course of the last few months, I don't have near the insulation I used to have.
You're no longer that thick boy.
And like Reggie I asked Reggie Barnes when we were sitting there freezing our giblets off. As a football player in the NFL, especially when he played in Pittsburgh to begin with, what about cold weather football? What is the worst? Is it worst on your shoulders, your feet, knees? What is it? And he said by far the most trouble he had in the NFL playing cold weather games was his hands. He said trying to keep your hands from going completely numb when you've got to use your hands for everything. It's just, and I'm sitting here drinking a Grey Goose on the rocks with ice cubes in it. So I'm holding a cold cup. My fingers were completely numb, and I knew exactly what he was talking about. Exactly what he was talking about. And there is the smoker guy. He did a hell of a job. We get into the stadium. Let's see.
Big Mike, 20 below is a little extreme for shorts.
Yeah, it is.
You wearing shorts at 20 below, Big Mike?
We get to our seat. There's our seat for the game. AT&T Stadium's got those big-ass screens up top. And if I remember right, the first year they had the stadium, when they rolled out the stadium, they ended up having to make the TVs. They had to raise them up because all the punters were kicking the balls right into the But so then, here we are. Is that not two good-looking women right there?
Well, I mean,
Jolene
they're
and
my cousin. I can't really comment
Jolene
on that.
and I don't make no junk, as you can see right there. See right there in the middle. We don't make no junk. But, yeah, what was funny about the game is the fact that when Minnesota started taking control of that game and it got to be fourth quarter, about halfway through the fourth quarter, would you quit, Eric? I've tried to add Brett like 15 times and you keep throwing him back down. The Vikings went up in the fourth quarter, and you want to talk about fair weather football fans. You know, it wasn't bad. It was bad enough that Texas Live probably had more Viking fans in there than Cowboy fans, and I shit you not. I actually shit you not that there was more Viking fans at pregame at Texas Live than there was Cowboy fans. By the time the game was midway through the fourth quarter, the Cowboy fans hit the aisles and they were gone. By the time the game was over, everybody left in the stands was pretty much Viking fans. And I'll bet you, if I was a betting man, that it was at least 30% at least, if not more, Viking fans in that stadium. And that stadium holds over 100,000.
How many, so as you were perusing the crowd.
This way, you guys are all about chants. You love your chants. The skull chant in the second half of that game just resonated through the whole stadium. The old skull chant just kept going.
So as you were perusing the Viking fans, how many Sam Darnold jerseys did you see?
0. You want to know who had more than him? The fullback by none other than the name Klein Sesser. Remember him?
Oh, yeah.
Old
You had one
40.
sitting right in front of you.
Old number 40, fullback. I saw 2 jerseys within 5 minutes of each other, and I'm like, damn. But that's when you find out who the faithful fans are, is all the jerseys from years ago. Not all these bandwagon jumper Justin Jefferson jerseys and stuff like that. But I even saw a Turner jersey, Brett.
Old Dallas Turner.
Old Dallas Turner, baby. So anyway, it was a hell of a weekend, and you know what? It always helps when the team you're rooting for wins And I've went on quite a few Viking excursions and come home very disappointed. So it was kind of nice for a change to go back to the hotel room and celebrate.
Kind
Did
of
you
like
get
that.
your picture taken with the male cheerleader, Ed? That's what.
Oh, and I got
They
one
were
more
there.
story.
They
I
were
got
there.
one more story for you. I got one more story for you. We're leaving Texas Live to head to the tailgate. We come out, and Amanda was already outside. Amanda goes, Dad, I saw a guy that looks just like John Randall. And I said, where? And she points him out, and I do a double take on him, and I go, that is John Randall. Well, about then, the guy standing next to us heard us. So he grabs John Randall quick, gets a picture taken with him. So Amanda and Jolene, they're just yelling at John Randall. Please, Mr. Randall, can we get a picture with you? My husband, he's been a fan of yours for years. He painted his face, and Amanda's going, yeah, he fought the battle. He wore his face just like you. Blah, blah, blah. And he didn't even hesitate. He kept walking. And I had to tell, because my daughter was distraught. She wanted to head back into Texas Live, and I shit you not. She was going after John Randall because come hell or high water, she was getting a photo for me and John Randall. And I said, let me get this straight. John Randall, his whole life, has heard this in restaurants. No matter where he goes, people are yelling his name and wanting him to stop. So he's reached that point where he just ain't going to stop anymore. But I said, so to make it even worse, you think you're going to go back into Texas Live where there's probably 5,000 Viking fans, and you're going to be able to single out John Randall and get our picture taken. So, but anyway, John Randall hasn't changed a lick. The only difference is his guts got a little bit bigger. And that's pretty much the same way with Reggie Barnes. He's still a big man. Their guts just get a little bigger, but
So you got your man crush out of the way. You were at least in proximity to John Randall.
oh my God, the guy he's 6 foot maybe, but even today he's still built like a brick shit house. I mean,
Well,
he's still bald as bald can be, but
now
that made my whole day.
Now that we've got the Viking segment over with, you're good. Got John Randall. We got to get to the show, Ed. We got stuff to talk about. And since Jay is on, I think we need
just make sure that, if we're going to talk football.
80, what you gonna do today?
I got my A game.
You got your A game?
A game?
He got his A game.
Okay, bring your A game, fellas.
Yeah. He just has to work it in all the time.
That's right.
All right, Jay. If you're still on, Jay, you got to pay attention. Okay. It's Josh Allen. The Patriots go up 21-0 in a big game where the Patriots could have solidified the division, game, set, match, and Superman goes like this, and the Bills end up winning. Are we now looking at the Bills like, if they're hitting their stride, is Josh Allen enough? Because I'm telling you right now, the defense, pretty suspect on the defense, Jay. And again, probably other than a full Bills fan, 100% can name me 2 receivers off of the Bills, period. Is Superman enough to lead the Bills to the Super Bowl this year? Brett, tell me if Superman is enough.
To lead them there, yes, possibly. To win it, no. Too many complete teams out there, especially on the NFC side. They just don't have enough defense. Josh is absolutely fun to watch, and I'm sure he'll make a run at it, but I just don't see them holding up a trophy at the end of the season.
Chad, Superman take him to the end?
Like I agree with Brett. I think they could get to the Super Bowl, but they're not winning it. We've already talked about that ad nauseum. Sorry, Jay. They might be able. Actually, I'm not sorry, Jay. They might make it to the Super Bowl, but they aren't going to win. You know why, Jay? They need to fire their head coach, Jay. They need to fire him like 3 years ago, Jay, and they didn't fire him, Jay. So
KJ, you're kind
No
of a
Super Bowl
Buffalo
fan.
Bill not bandwagoner, but you're not really an NFL guy. But you like the Bills.
I do.
You got a helmet back there. Tell us why the Bills are going to the Super Bowl with Superman.
I'm not wholesomely convinced they'll make it all the way. I want them to. Obviously, they'd be the one I'd be rooting for outside of the Texans as an even deeper Hail Mary. I would disagree. I think if they're able to get to the dance, as long as they're not playing the Rams, that's the one team I feel like they don't have a chance against. And I'm not saying there aren't other squads on the NFC side that are good, to Brett's point, but I think they could put up a good fight against and have a chance to win against any other squad. The Rams are really the only team that I've watched enough of with the little bit I've seen this season that they seem to be like legitimate, I don't know, long distance threats that, you know, I don't think that the defensively we could hold the snuff up. The Bills would be able to pull out a win in that type of pinnacle game. So
Ed,
weird that
Mahomes,
they played like crap against the Pats early in that first part of the game, and then, you know, second half they just were able to wrangle it in and get disciplined, I think is what it came down to.
So Ed, Patty Mahomes is out for the year. He's not in the playoffs. Lamar Jackson, the Ravens are on life support. True life support. This if they're ever going to make it to the Super Bowl, isn't that it?
Joe Burrow's out.
Yeah, Joe Burrow's out. So isn't this the year where Josh Allen has to take them there?
It is, but I'm not convinced it's going to happen, because for all the weeks that everybody talks about Josh Allen being Superman, how many streaks can you remember where week in and week out over the course of 3 or 4 weeks, everybody keeps saying Josh Allen's a Superman. Next week, Josh Allen's a Superman. Next week, Josh Allen's a Superman. Or do you see Josh Allen's a Superman followed by the next week he has 3 or 4 turnovers? And then it's like, uh-oh, the old Josh is back. The problem is I don't think Josh Allen can put 3 weeks of Josh Allen being Superman back to back to back. I just think their window is closed. I don't.
This is what I'm talking about, Jay. When you say Palmer, Shakir, and Coleman, I mean, I'm gonna be honest with you. I know Kincaid, I know Knox, but I mean, aside from Bills fans, you know, those names really don't scare me. That's what I'm getting at. It's like, you know, I just don't think that the Bills have enough players across the board. Hey, Panther, to do it. Now, you put Josh Allen with, I mean, hell, you could argue you put Josh Allen on the Bears. I see Michigan football player. I mean, we're going to have maybe talk about that a little bit, because we've got some pretty good wins here. You must be a Packers fan or a Lions fan or something. But
my guess is a Lions fan.
That'd be my guess too.
I'll speak to my UH bias. If they can get Ed Oliver back healthy come playoff time, if they can get there, that'll be the difference maker in my opinion. They've got good defense, but he's one that can get after quarterbacks and stop the run. He did both at Houston, and he's been out for the past several weeks. So,
yeah, I mean, like I said, I can't disagree with Chad. Chad has said this for a long time. Coach, 5 years. Quarterback, 5 years. They don't win.
Rub his nose in, Chad. He's a bad dog.
I mean,
Jay. Jay started it.
Jay started it. I'm just finishing. Okay. Real quick, saw this today. Viewers in favor of Tua. Does this mark the end of Tua, your Alabama quarterback in Miami? Brett?
Yeah, probably so. I mean, they've got to try. I mean, Daniel's got to try something. I mean, you go back and look at. I watched the entirety of the game the other night, which was pure joy. And I mean, Tua's stats were not bad at all. Like 115 quarterback rating. The play calling was awful to begin with. It was extremely conservative. Then when he let Tua open it up, they started moving up and down the field. Look, what you think? I defended Tua because they knew what they were getting. Look, you got a left-handed, undersized, fragile quarterback. You knew that when you drafted him,
And
they never built a line around him. So yeah, they've got to give viewers a shot and see if he can't spark something. Because I just don't see McDaniel making it. He won't. I don't think he'll be back next year. What do you guys think?
I'm hearing he is, strangely enough. Yeah, I mean, that first pick Tua threw, I mean, that looked like I was throwing the pass left-handed. I mean,
I'll say this: he did the same thing against Clemson in one of our national championship games. First play of the game, he really, really, really struggles with zone coverage, and that hasn't changed. So,
Brett, read it.
what does he say?
Your
says
elephant
you
ears are
defend
sounding
Tua
pretty,
because he
Brett.
played
That's what
for
he's
Bama.
saying.
Be honest, Brett. Jay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That guy won a national championship in overtime as a true freshman. Was second and 26. Never forget. I know it's easy for you to forget national championships, Jay, because you guys don't win any. So I mean,
Jeez.
The problem is, how do you? I mean, they gave him what, almost $55 million a year contract. How do you move on from that kind of a contract? I mean,
You're going to move on to the coach
none of
first.
the other NFL teams are going to want to sign him unless Miami's willing to eat part of the contract.
right.
But he's pretty much stuck in Miami.
Well, I did hear that there was a team at the top of the list that was actually looking at him, and it was the Minnesota Vikings. And I heard that on the radio on Jocks on the way home, and I chuckled.
Now, maybe he'd end up one of the cheerleaders, but he would never be the quarterback.
Hey, he would fit in with some of your cheerleaders. I'll give you that.
Brett,
There's a lot
Joe
less
Burrow.
PPE in that position. I'll say that much. So.
Yeah, Joe Burrow is going to Minnesota. It's going to happen.
You think Joe Burrow's gone, huh?
He better be going somewhere for his own dang
Joe
professional
Burrow's going to, if he's smart, out of all the teams that could use a quarterback, bad, Minnesota's at the top of the heap.
If he stays in Cincy any longer, he's going to make Phillip Rivers look like Joe Montana. Like that's too much.
So the internet says, can the Dolphins get out of Tua's contract? Can the Dolphins cut Tua? It cost the Dolphins $79.2 million in dead cap space to cut Tua right now. There's an out in his contract before the 27 season that would result in a $34.8 million dead money hit, which is really the first realistic time something like that could happen.
So they would have to pull like a Texans Deshaun Watson move and let him sit on the roster for a whole year next season, basically, Chad, and then try to kick him off in 27. That sounds like.
Are you done yet? We'll talk about the Panthers shortly.
Or you do the Broncos and you just cut them and you just eat the whole 79 mil in
Get
a
started
year
early.
to take the shot. I mean,
Yeah.
I mean that's the other option. What they're going to do, I don't know. I assume they don't have much money wrapped up in other quarterbacks, so I mean they're going to give viewers a try. They'll probably draft another one.
Right.
Brad, you need to turn your phone. You look like you're trying to slide out the side door.
I think he's locked.
Yeah, I think he's stuck.
Well,
Yeah, he's stuck.
let's take him off for the time.
I got him off already, bud. I'm way ahead of you.
So anyway, after Joe Burrow goes to Minnesota,
Oh, geez. Wait, what? 9 is the way 9's playing?
9 is available.
What 9 is playing like a demon right now. What are you talking about? Why?
I thought 9 was the Vikings.
You're all
future.
Camp McCarthy, Ed. You're not allowed to jump off
Yeah.
that train. You got to ride it to the
Yeah.
sunset. Come on, man.
Yeah.
You were in a bromance with this kid from week 1 of the season. Couldn't shut
Yeah,
up
you're
about
like,
it.
McCarthy's our boy. We're good.
Yeah.
We're rolling. And now you're bailing?
He's over here high-fiving the service members as they come in with the flag at the game. Like,
Yeah.
golden boy.
You were ready to hump his leg when he did that. What's going on? Ed, you just wanted to be on a rainy Saturday and have a nice movie on, a nice old Western, lay on the couch and be the little spoon to McCarthy's big spoon with a blanket over you, just two dudes hanging out, watching a Western on a rainy day, snuggling, just being a couple of bros.
Oh, whoops. Gotta take that down.
How
I
you
mean-
have turned on that man. You have just turned on him.
I don't know, Ed.
When
I'm
you have
disappointed.
a chance to get Joe Burrow, it's what have you done for me lately?
Are they going to be able to dump McCarthy and 3 first-round picks and
Well,
2 second-round picks for
You don't
it?
have to dump McCarthy. He's still on a rookie contract. So
Well, you're going to dump him anyway. You're not going to keep him, are you?
You never know. Joe Burrow's been prone to be injured sometimes. So
Maybe Cincinnati will take 9 off your hands.
yeah, just remember, Chad, in your story, just like this, when you're talking about me, I'm the big daddy. I have the big spoon. Don't get
Joe
that.
Burrow.
twist.
Joe
Don't get
Joe
that
Burrow's
twist.
going to be the big spoon. Joe
Don't
Burrow's
get
gonna
it,
be.
don't
You're-
get it.
age before
You
beauty.
you are
Don't get it
definitely
twisted.
giving bottom vibes right now. So
Oh, Jesus. Okay. All right.
So the next topic: critical injuries are mounting as the regular season just too long. You know, we got big. Patrick Mahomes went down. Micah Parsons went down. You know, you just got
Daniel Jones.
Watson with the Packers went down. You know, as I was talking to when I was talking to Reggie Barnes about this, you know, being a former NFL player, he made the comment, you know, even when there was regular season was back in the day, 12 games, 14 games, you had players that limped to the finish line because of injury. Now you're talking about bodies that have to go through a 17-game regular season. Now they're even talking about moving it to 18. Is it just becoming too hard to make it through a season, not even counting playoffs? Are you just going to see more and more of these types of injuries start mounting?
Well, we're not even at the extra weeks yet. So we're not at week 17 and 18. And really 18's the extra game. So I don't necessarily buy that argument. Do I think we needed a 17th game? No. Do I think we need an 18th game? No. Is the NFL going to push for an 18th game? Yes. But I think the injuries are there. If you're going to make the playoffs, I mean, you're playing a 17th and 18th game anyway. So is it good for football? No. Do we need them? Do we need all those games? No. But they're going to.
But here's the deal.
They're gonna do what they think is gonna make them more money.
The deal is with the shorter season, though, if a player got any type of a serious injury, a lot of times that cost them the season. They were done. They were out. With this longer 17-game, possibly 18-game regular season, players that normally that are injured that would be out for the season are now rushed back to try and save the season. So is that another way that you're shortening these players' playing career, is bringing them back from injuries too early to play because of the length of the season?
I mean, I don't know. I mean, the rigors of an NFL season are tough regardless. I mean, I heard one time it was like lining up, 20 feet away from your garage and just running as hard as you could into your garage about 50 times. I mean, we see players hurt in week 1. We see players hurt in week 2. The problem is this only comes up like when a Patrick Mahomes goes down, Micah Parsons goes down, the Bears this year are number 2 in total games missed to injuries. So, I mean, to me, it's just part of the game. I don't even know if it's the length of season. I mean, I agree with Chad on that. It's like, I just think injuries happen, and it's the game of football. But I do agree with, Jay a little bit here when he says, shorter season. It is about the fans, and it's about making money, period.
Well, I think the NFL made it perfectly clear that that's the whole object, is making money.
Yeah. And so,
They made that clear a long time ago.
Yeah, a long time ago. But, they're going to go to an 18 game season. That's going to happen. They'll probably shorten the preseason up to 2 weeks, 2 games, because, I mean, they don't play in it anyway. So, I mean, I don't know if the season's length has anything to do with it, more so than why the hell are we playing a late game on Saturday and then you're asking that team to come back and play on Thursday? I think those things could have more of an impact.
I agree. The Thursday games are a bigger problem than the 17th game.
Yeah, I think that's more a problem.
Every team being mandated has to play in a Thursday game is a bigger problem.
Yeah, I think that you get done on Sunday and all of a sudden you're playing in 4 days. I think that's probably more of a problem than the 17 or 18 game season, is that they're not allowed to heal. Now, again, Patrick Mahomes' injury could happen on a Thursday, could happen on the Saturday game. So, yeah, Micah Parsons could happen any day of the week. I get that. But if you're not fully allowed to heal because of Thursday games and stuff like that, you can say, well, then they won't play. Well, I get that. But I just think that would be more of an issue to me than the longer season. Is, you're not giving them, every team a week, every single week. You got Thursday games coming back, stuff like that. I just think that's more of an issue. And again, that's a money thing. Got to put it on Prime Video and those types of things. So, I'm not going to argue. I'm not going to argue that the NFL is looking out for its players when it comes to that stuff. They're not. Right. It's about this. Now, on the flip side, the players are making a ton of money, a lot of them. So you want to make a ton of money, you're going to play when we tell you to play. And I don't see that changing anytime soon.
Right.
Yeah, barring a strike, and we all know how that works out.
Right.
That does not work out well for the players because they break.
Yeah.
Well, Netflix, when they come out with the documentary on the quarterbacks, and Kirk Cousins segment, he talked about there were weeks that he basically lived in ice water. Monday through the Thursday, there was a lot of times he couldn't even throw a football until Friday. And so to think these players can rebound from a Sunday game and play a Thursday night game and it doesn't create wear and tear or food in the bones.
Yeah, there's no question about that.
Jay brings up a good point there. I mean, Kirk Cousins has made more than enough money. He could walk away. He could have walked away 2 or 3 years ago. He wants to play. They know that they know all these injuries are possible. They know these CTE injuries are possible. They know that there's a chance by the time they get to my age, they're sitting in a chair drooling. So they love to play, and they love the money, and they love the fame, and they're going to play, and the league's going to take advantage of all those things and have them play and make money.
So question for you, KJ. We talk about this long season. You got a rookie quarterback in New York, Jackson Dart, that is already went through concussion protocol, I think 6 times this year. But yet every time they interview him, he talks about how he's not going to change the way he plays. What's your thoughts on what the future holds for this quarterback when we talk about the length of the regular season?
If that's how his season's gone down this year and that's his mindset, I would definitely draw ear of question and concern of his long-term future. I don't know if it was last season or the year before when Tua went through a very similar repetitive experience, and I was calling for that guy to get the automatic like forced benching or forced retirement, just because I had never recalled in recent history seeing the QB go through that many in such a repetitive fashion. And you mentioned before about some people getting rushed back too soon. I think I've seen both ways of it, I guess. Like with Tua, I think they, in seasons past, they pushed him too fast to get back. They didn't give him enough extended time to recover, even beyond your, medically minimal concussion protocol standard or whatever. I think the Texans, for instance, even this season, did an admirable job of being very patient with how fast they brought back CJ over a more minor injury, not something as significant, I think. I guess it was concussion when he got hit the first time, but they had, Mills in for almost 4 weeks or more. I can't remember exactly, before they finally chose to bring CJ back. So, I mean, they took their time with him. So I think it's a case by case basis in terms of, who gets brought back soon, quicker than others. But if Dart's situation is similar to what Tua's was a year or two ago, I would definitely, I don't know, that may be more of a thing where we should be having the conversation of, should the league have, as Eric said, I don't know if they'd ever do this, but if health is really a concern and a value point for them, does there need to be situations where the league steps in and goes, okay, you're on a forced timeout as a player,
right?
But I don't, to your point, Eric, I don't know if they'll ever do that because
they won't.
The dollar it doesn't give that. There's no financial incentive in them doing that.
So here's the follow-up question. You're the New York Giants, and you're undoubtedly looking at probably having one of the top 2. If you don't have the top pick, you may have one of the top 2 or 3 picks. You've got your rookie quarterback that you had high hopes for, but he's already been in concussion protocol 6 times this season.
Right.
Do you draft another quarterback to cover your ass, or do you slide all the chips to the middle of the table, saying, Jackson Dart is our man?
If I was them, I would keep him at the forefront, but I wouldn't force him to play this season. To your point, they're already in prime positioning for good draft picks. People were already calling a, tombstone RIP to their season when Scattaboo went down. And I 100% echoed that mindset. Even Dart himself was, expressively emotional and frustrated after Scattaboo got injured because he knew how much he was contributing to the team. I think that, that far, however many weeks it was into the season when he got hurt. So, if I'm in ownership or the coach, I'm trying to be more strategic about, we want to keep this guy around beyond 2026 or 2025. And if that's true, and we want a healthy quarterback who can last us, then, it would be more smart to let him sit almost, I guess, for at least a good chunk of the rest of the season, if not the entire what's left of it.
Jay brings up a point where he talks about Jim McMahon. Eric and Chad know. It sounds to me like Dart has a lot of the mentality Jim McMahon had. How did that work out for him? So
Yeah, my issue is that I love Jim McMahon. It's great. He's still
when
fun.
he played 1 year with the Vikings, I loved him.
Yeah. But the problem is, Jay, I watched a lot of those games in the 80s when he was with the Bears. And you know what he did 50 times a game? Headbutted his offensive linemen, every single one of them, repeatedly, like an idiot. So you can't go and complain that the NFL is screwing you on concussions when they have a ton of video of you headbutting your 290-pound offensive lineman multiple times a game.
You
I
can't
love
pull
it.
Brian Cushing's and expect the league to be sympathetic.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
But Eric,
just
but Eric, you're the New York Giants, and you sit down, Dart, and you say, dude, you got to be smarter than this. And he gets in front of the camera and says, I ain't changing the way I play a single bit. I'm going to continue to do what I do.
Well,
I mean, you got to be able to control your quarterback.
the conversation needs to be had with him. Like, listen, if you want a long career in the NFL, these are some of the adjustments you're going to have to make. Because I do like Jackson Dart. I do like his attitude and I do like his mentality. But he's also got to make a business decision for himself saying, gosh, Tua is obviously a track record. You see the players, there's clearly people that are more susceptible to concussions than others. And Tua is definitely that kind of guy. I mean, we see running backs all the time. Classic example. Benung guy in the Packers game 2 weeks ago. You guys saw the hit. They showed it everywhere where there's pieces flying off of the helmet of the Green Bay Packer fan. He spins out, or the player, and he spins out and runs for a couple more yards. Well, I mean, that's a direct hit. That's a direct helmet-to-helmet hit, and to my knowledge, neither one of those guys went in the concussion protocol. But you'll watch Tua take a hit very similar to that, and he's like, ugh. Dart has taken similar hits like that, and it's like, ugh. Some guys are susceptible to it. To me, like, if you're going to make business decisions like that, you've got to make those decisions, or listen, the league is going to have to make decisions for you. And I know they won't, and I know Brian Dable took criticism for it. But, I mean, sometimes somebody's got to step in and say, listen, Dart, you may want to be the tough guy. This may be how you play football, but understand that for your future safety, if you're not going to make the smarter decisions, then we're going to have to make them for you.
Yeah. If you
You're gonna
want
have
to
to sit out.
say,
There's a difference. There's a difference to your point, Eric, of
Joe
having
Burrow did-
overall grit and hustle and being reckless. Like,
Right.
Joe Burrow did a similar thing. He hurt his foot. How did he hurt his foot? Trying to step up in the pocket and slide through a space between offensive and defensive players this big, and he gets his foot caught and trapped and hurts his foot. He comes back. I watched the game the other day. He did that 4 times in that game. Instead of just throwing the ball away, he kept trying to step up in the pocket and squeeze through this tiny hole, and he gets his legs all caught underneath him and other players. He didn't learn a freaking thing, and he just keeps doing it. So a lot of these guys, they can't stop doing what they're doing.
who's going to be the first quarterback that's going to come out wearing that big-ass concussion helmet?
That's exactly what Jay just said. If they're worried about that, they wear the concussion helmets as ugly as they are. I mean, it's true. I mean, there is ways to help stop it, but it's kind of like,
I don't even know if those really help all that much, though, either.
Honestly,
I
Chad,
think some of it's theater.
Well, I think they do. Can they prevent
How do they
concussions?
keep your how do you think they prevent your brain from sliding around in your skull and slamming up against your skull?
It's very similar to this. They're not 100% effective. There's no question about that. However, it takes away some of that sudden impact.
the equivalent of a paper barrier.
Yeah, there's at least a little give there. I mean, we have them at the high school, and our kids wear them in practice. So you avoid those, you avoid those bangs of the heads in practice at least. Hey, Brett, welcome back, bud.
Hey!
take care of your phone next time. But
You just dropped like a rock. I didn't know it wasn't charging.
they wear them in practice, and are they 100% concussion proof? No, but they at least give some at least a little give.
So in the greatest sport on the planet, Australian rules football, if you have deemed to get a concussion, it's mandatory you sit out at least 1 week. You don't get to play. You have to sit out. So it can be done. It just depends on, where the league's total commitment to this is.
Right.
I'm not calling for them to do either thing. I'm not calling for them to make sure to mandatory. You have to sit a week, and I'm not saying that they don't have to do that. What I'm saying is it's something that can be done. It's just a hard, tough choice that could cost people games, and you have to be ready for that.
But if Dart wants the bag, he's also got to be smart about it, because if he's eating baby food by the time he's done with his rookie
Which
contract,
bag are we talking about? The body bag? Or the,
right. Yeah, the bag of money.
Yeah.
All right. So real quick, because we were really good on time, now we're not. These are the power rankings real quick. LA at the top still, Denver, Seattle, San Francisco, New England falls a bit. They kind of showed a little chink in the armor a little bit there with the Bills game. Bears, Bills, Green Bay, Chargers, Texans, Jags. That Jags Texans, it's tight. The Jags hold a 1-game lead. We'll see. Philadelphia actually kind of came back a little bit, showed a little offensive. I realized who they were playing. So, you can take that for what it's worth. The Steelers, I thought they were kind of on life support, but they've won a couple games here. And then Tampa Bay, I think it's going to be Tampa Bay, or you put Carolina in there by default. Tampa Bay's in the playoffs right now. But, Carolina, I think if they play this week, then they got a game in between, and then they play the last week. So, those 2 games will decide that division. The Lions, here's the deal, guys. I'm going to tell you this right now as a Bears fan. The Bears could easily win the division, and the Bears could easily not make the playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
That's how thin it is. If the Bears beat the Packers this week, they're in the playoffs. If they lose to the Packers, that means they have to at least beat San Francisco, but then they could potentially lose to the Lions and not make the playoffs. Like
in San Francisco, right?
In San Francisco. It's they're at home against the Packers, in San Francisco, and at home against the Lions. So, that's how thin the NFC is. The AFC, like I said, I think the playoff teams are set. It just depends on, what the order is and so on and so forth. But the NFC, it's very thin. You look at it right now as far as the playoffs go. You pull it up here. There it is. You've got, the 1 seeds now are LA and Denver. 2 seeds are Chicago and the Patriots. 3 seeds, Philadelphia and the Jaguars. 4 seed is Tampa Bay and Pittsburgh. Barring a Pittsburgh collapse, the Ravens are, like I said, on life support. This kind of looks like the way the AFC is going to be. But the NFC, you saw the Bears in the 1 seed prior to the Green Bay loss, and they dropped clear to the 7 seed. And you saw Green Bay up there. They lose to Denver, and they drop to the 7 seed. So there's a lot of, movement that's going to happen, I think, yet on the NFC side. I think LA probably has there's 2 tough games this week in the NFC that are going to go a long way to decide what this playoff picture looks like, and that's LA and Seattle. LA is at Seattle, and Green Bay is at Chicago. Those 2 games are going to make quite a bit of movement here, or lack thereof, in the NFC picture. So, standings real quick. There's your standings. Again, you saw Chicago drop below Green Bay. Green Bay loses. Chicago pops back up. Philadelphia is going to win that division by default after the Dallas loss. You got Tampa Bay and Carolina. One team will come out of there. They play twice yet, I believe. And then the Rams and Seattle. I mean, I think it's a lock now that 3 teams are coming out of the West and only 2 teams are coming out of the North. So, I mean, that's going to be, I think, you can pretty much, San Francisco with their schedule and then Rams and Seattle are going to be in there. So it's either going to be Green Bay and Chicago, Green Bay and Detroit. I mean, it's not going to be unless Green Bay falls off, it could be Detroit and Chicago, but because each team has to play each other, it's probably not going to work out that way. So yeah, that is where we stand as far as the playoff picture and the division standings after week 15. So we probably, because of time, we better get to our pick'ems because I know how that works. No, Jay, I don't believe the Chargers can catch the Broncos. If I bring that up real quick.
No,
again,
I think they've clinched.
The Chargers,
they're at least clinched they've clinched a playoff spot.
Yeah, the Chargers can catch them, but I think
Denver
the Chargers
have clinched.
Yeah, the Chargers I think have to win out, and Denver has to lose out. I think is how that works.
Yeah.
So it's pretty thin for them, but technically they are still in it for the division. So let's get to the games because, like I said, there are 2 big games right off the bat. First game, the Rams are at Seattle. Obviously, a big game for both teams. If Seattle wins, they will take the top spot in the division. And if the Rams win, they will have a stranglehold on the division because they will have the 2 games head-to-head with Seattle. So, Brett, when it comes to Rams, Seattle, who you got, bud?
Got the Rams until they prove me otherwise. It's going to be a tight game. The line's about right. I know it's in Seattle, but give me the Rams.
Chad?
Is Puka playing?
Yes, he is. It's
Devontae Adams is out.
Devontae Adams is the one that's doubtful.
He aggravated the hamstring again.
Give me the Rams.
KJ?
Got the Rams as well. There are a few losses this season. I feel like outside of 1 or 2 that were against formidable opponents, the Panthers lost. I kind of count as their mulligan. They've just done better overall this season, I think. Give them the nod.
Ed?
I got to give the nod to the Rams. I've said for quite a few weeks now that I consider the LA Rams the best team heading into the playoffs, and we're about at that time of the year where Sam Darnold shows why Sam Darnold is Sam Darnold. He's already showing signs already that he's not quite as productive. So give me the Rams.
Yeah, I've got him at the top of my power rankings, so I've got to take the Rams as well. I mean, it's, if Matthew Stafford's the MVP, this is where he has to step up, and I guess we'll see if your Sam Darnold is a pumpkin or not is gonna happen here because this is a huge game for Seattle. So we'll see where Sam Darnold comes in. Big Mike looks like he's going with Seattle. Henry's got the Rams. Jay says Bills Rams Super Bowl. Chad, eat it.
And the Rams win.
Be a pretty
and the Rams win. So
and the Rams win.
Close to team there.
Yeah, however you got it, Chad still has the Rams winning. So next game, Green Bay 9-4 at 9-4-1, 1.5 point favorite at our beloved Bears, boys. And true to form, I'm taking Green Bay. Ed, who you got?
God, are you kidding me?
No, taking Green Bay.
If the stars were ever going to align more for the Chicago Bears with a home game, Micah Parsons out, Watson's out. If the Bears can't take care of business this week, they're not ever going to take care of business. I got Chicago in this one.
KJ?
I don't know what's going to happen this weekend, but the floor could fall out and the Bears could have peaceful confidence in knowing they have the best backup quarterback in the National Football League. So I'm going with the Bears, hands down.
Oh, God. Chad?
All right. Against my better judgment, I'm taking the Bears.
God, we're screwed. Jesus. Brett?
Bear down.
Bears by 50.
Now we're really freaking screwed.
Yeah, you shouldn't
Brett,
use that catchphrase, Brett. That's
Brett
bad.
took Chicago. We are so screwed. It's not even funny. Brett, I hate you right now. Michigan.
Hey, I'm not
football-
going to win anything. If you want me to take Green Bay by 50, I will.
Michigan football's got the Bears. Henry's got the Bears. Jay's got the Bears. God, my Green Bay pick is a lock, boys. Jesus.
KJ's gonna gain a game on you.
You know what? I hope he does. I'm totally good with that.
You also just
Totally
handed the
take
trophy
that.
now. That's all I'm going to say.
Next game, Chargers 10-4 at Dallas 6-7-1. Dallas is a favorite.
Interesting.
2.5. That's interesting. So, Chad, who you got? The Chargers, or you going with them boys?
I think the floor is gonna just trapdoor is just gonna fall off from underneath the Cowboys. The Cowboys are just gonna. I think the rest of this season is just gonna be an ugly slide. Give me the Chargers.
KJ,
blowing that game with Minnesota last week.
that had to take some air out of them.
That's exactly
All
what I
the
would.
lead is out of their pencil.
Yeah, if you can't beat the horned boy wonders of cheerleading north, I don't think you can beat the Chargers. So I'm
Sis
going.
boom ba. Rah rah
Who
rah.
you got, KJ?
I got San Diego, or LA, I should say now. Sorry, I'm still.
Yeah. Brett?
Go Chargers. Go.
I've got the Chargers as well. Ed, you taking them boys?
No, they're
No.
I agree with Chad. They're going to free fall now. So give me the LA.
All right. Don't let me forget. I've got a comment on them boys from clear back at the beginning of the show from my athletic director that I've got to get on here. I want to get your opinion on it.
Well, I will say one thing too. J.J. McCarthy and Dak Prescott aren't big fans of each other after this last week's game. Evidently, when they met in the middle of the field to congratulate each other, J.J. McCarthy reminded Dak that it wasn't all about stats to win a football game. It's who can lead their, it's who they can lead their who can lead their team to a win. I guess that didn't go over real well with Dak.
You gotta love 9.
Yeah, I mean, it looks like we got a
Snickety
Chargers.
snick.
Looks like we got a Chargers sweep on the board as well. Anyway, Tampa Bay. Here's one of those games that's gonna decide that division. Tampa Bay 7-7, 3-point favorite at Carolina 7-7. Division lead on the line. KJ, who you got?
Remind me, is this Bryce's sophomore year in the NFL, or is this year 3 for him?
I think it's year 3.
Year
Year
3.
3. I thought him and CJ came at the same time. I will say this year he's, at least from the highlights I've seen, he's looked better than years past. I don't know if that trending will last for him, but I still think they can't really bet much very often against Mayfield, and I've come to be a big fan of his when I used to be a huge hater in the college years. So I'm going with the Bucks.
Chad?
I think there's just something's wrong in Tampa Bay. Something is rotten. I don't know if it's the head coach. I don't know if it's the offense or they just can't keep it together. Give me the Carolina Panthers.
Ed?
Yeah, I mean, Tampa Bay is a shell of their former self. They started the first half of the season off hot. Baker Mayfield, MVP consideration. And now they got Mike Evans back this last week. They still can't seem to figure it out. So I'm done taking Tampa Bay because I don't know how many times I've been wrong on them. I think Carolina's going to take care of business at home. It'll be close, but Carolina.
I have Carolina as well. I think these two teams are going to split at home, and it's going to come into the sandwich game. Is going to decide it. And then the tiebreaker, I don't know what they use for the tiebreaker after that. Be conference schedule. I don't know who has more wins in the NFC, but we'll see. Brett, who you got?
Got to go with my Panthers, man. Got to go with my posse here at the house. Speaking of free falling, Tampa Bay, can they beat anybody right
They
now?
got beat by the Saints, man. The
I
New
mean,
Orleans Aints.
Yeah,
What the hell happened to them? I'm with Chad. Something's up there.
Something is rotten.
Big Mike's got Tampa Bay. Henry's got Tampa Bay. Jay's got the Panthers.
Jay's not a big fan of Brian Young, I don't think.
Yeah, Bryce Young.
Tampa Bay has lost 5 of their last 6 of their last 7.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, it looks like they were going to control that division. They have absolutely wrapped the bed. Oh, this will be a big game for my athletic director. Jacksonville 10-4 at Denver 12-2. Denver is a 3-point favorite at home. Does Denver wrap the bed and lose their 12-game win streak at home in a big game against Trevor Lawrence and the Jacksonville Jaguars? Ed, who do you got?
I think it's about time for Denver to lose. I think there's a good thing. There's such a thing as a good loss, and I think it probably do Denver good to at least get one more loss out of the way before the playoffs. I think it'll be this week. Jacksonville has been one of those teams that I've picked to lose every week, and they're not only winning, but they're starting to bitch slap teams. So I'm taking Jacksonville.
Henry's got Denver. Michigan football's got Jacksonville. KJ, who you got?
I think the stock on Bo Nix football cards are just going to continue to climb. And this is not a biblical story of David and Goliath. And the long blonde locks of Trevor are not going to save him this week. So I'm going with the Broncos.
I want to pick the Jags so bad because I root for the Jags just because, my athletic grade, they've been so bad and he's finally got something to cheer for. But man, if this was at Jacksonville, I'm taking Jacksonville all day, but it's at Denver. I just don't see them breaking the streak. I got to go with Denver. Brett?
Jet lag, elevation, and the Denver defense. Denver's got a heck of a home crowd, too. Give me the Broncos. I agree with you, though. If it was in Jacksonville, I would jump all over the Jags the way they're playing, but unfortunately for them, it is not.
Yeah, if this game is in Jacksonville, I'm taking the Jags all day long, but like you said, that travel going to Denver. Ugh. Sorry, Joel. My bad. I got to take Denver. Joel, this is what I'm talking about.
Pink slip.
The last time the Jags had 11 wins, I was 12 years old. So, Joel, I'm rooting for him, man, but it's like
so we're Bears fans. We feel your pain. Some of us are Bears fans.
Yeah. Chad, who you got?
Okay, so what do you have with Denver? You have a Bronco. That's a horse.
A horse don't stand a chance against a Jaguar.
You got a Jaguar, and if horses need a mule in there or a donkey to protect them, so the Jaguar is going to jump on the back of the horse, the Bronco, get it down on the ground, and then rip his throat out. Give me the Jaguars.
There you go. See how well that works?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean that was a great Ed story.
Logically.
Is that how
Ed,
all the picks have gone this year? Is it's all Animal Kingdom based? Is that what
well, yeah, Ed, you missed it, KJ. Ed went on an absolute rant one night on his picks, and it was like, holy buckets, man.
It was beautiful.
I'll fill that in for you, Ed. So Pittsburgh 8-6 at Detroit 8-6. Detroit is a 7-point favorite. You know, Pittsburgh, the Lions are such a conundrum this year because you want to believe that they're the Lions we've watched the last 2 years.
They're not.
And they're not. You want to say they're the Lions at home, and they're not. I am picking the Lions because I don't believe in Pittsburgh all that much, but this game scares me. That 7 points, if we were picking by the point spread, I would take Pittsburgh in the points. But since we're not, I'm taking Detroit. Brett,
is TJ still out this week?
I have not heard.
Don't know on that one. I mean, as Bears fans, we need Detroit to lose, but unfortunately, it's not going to happen this weekend. Give me the Lions.
Chad?
Aaron Rodgers finds a way to win in Detroit. He is Detroit's daddy about as much as he is Chicago's daddy.
Oh,
Give me the Steelers.
KJ?
You got to win, but then you got Pittsburgh, and they're making it feels hot, and it's metal, and it's flowing liquid. But it,
yeah. KJ?
I'm going to take the path of the statistics majors. If you look back over the past 6+ weeks, it's literally been win-loss, 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 win-loss at a religious rate of occurrence with the Lions, and they're due for another dub. So I'm taking Detroit.
Ed?
I'm taking Detroit, but it really doesn't matter because they've already shown this year that they're not a road team, and their record is to the point where even if they made the playoffs as a wild card team, they'd have to go on the road, and they can't win on the road. So for all intents and purposes, their season's over with. But for this week anyway, I'll give them the W.
Chad, Jay tried to help you out here. He said Lions can't eat steel, Chad.
Hey, but they can eat a Steeler. So.
Yeah, I was going to say, they can, yeah.
They can eat some flesh.
Henry's got Pittsburgh. Big Mike's got Pittsburgh. Jay's got the Lions. I'm shocked Michigan football's got the Lions. So, yeah, kind of a split on the board anyway. So, Ed, what I was getting at when I said don't let me forget this, clear back at the beginning, Joel made this comment way at the beginning, and this was from last week. Man, we had a lot of comments this week. Where is it? There it is right there. Question for later. Joel made sure and put this on right away. Oh, did I really go all the way back? Yes. Okay, here we go. Question for later, Ed. Who is Grandpa or Dad more disappointed in? Easy-E for not backing Grandpa's Army Black Knights in the Pick'em, or Ed for getting his skull on in Jerry's World? Ed?
Well, all I got to say is my dad better be careful how he would answer that question, because I brought him back a pretty nice souvenir from Dallas, so he better just check it. But if I was my dad, I would be absolutely furious at Eric, because Eric literally turned his back on both his grandpas and just shit right in their grave.
Hey, our boys had Navy on the ropes come the end of the third quarter. Like
Army had that game.
Yeah, it's your
way
fault,
up
Eric.
until they didn't, and Army played well enough to win that game. But yes, this weekend, Eric, you will pay the price for showing your allegiance to Navy.
I didn't show allegiance. I simply made a pick based on who I thought was going to win.
Interchangeable.
Well, my
I mean-
dad's sitting in the chair, and I'm handing him a nice souvenir, and I tell him that. Oh, by the way, Eric took Navy this last weekend.
Yeah.
Oh,
Well,
boy.
I mean,
So,
and
Eric-
you know what Grandpa's
Eric,
going
are
to
you-
say? Well, did they win? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
I mean,
Eric, are you the oldest grandchild?
yes.
Yeah.
Technically.
So now you
I babysat him
have
for
finally
Christ's sake.
if you have finally let your grandfather down. That's too bad. At least you took you 57 years, but you
Yeah.
did it.
It only took 57. Screw you. It took me 48 years. I finally let him down. It is what it is.
Someone
you know.
needs to give Chad an open mic night, man. This guy could roast a freaking sheep in a field.
Yeah. I mean,
Not over a
Yeah.
fire, by the way. That's what I mean.
yeah. So
Back
yeah.
to our
So-
picks, man. This can be midnight.
no, picks. That was it, bud. Pittsburgh was.
Oh,
Oh, no.
was it? We got.
Oh
two
my
more.
God, we got two more. Hell, I wasn't even looking at the screen. That's my fault. New England, 11-3 at Baltimore, 7-7. Baltimore is a 3-point favorite at home.
Yeah, figure that out.
I got nothing on that. Chad, who you
What does
got?
Vegas know?
I don't
Give
know.
me. Okay, so New England, so they're the Patriots.
We don't have time for this.
They are the Patriots.
And they filled the musket up with birdshot instead of a musket a
Careful
ball,
how you answer this, Chad. We're about to deport you if you say it right.
and they shot the raven out of the sky because it backed a double murderer. So give me the Patriots.
I'm taking the Patriots as well. Brett,
Patriots.
KJ,
Pats.
Ed, you going with Baltimore?
Clean sweep for the Pats.
Yeah, I'm assuming. I better check the message board real quick. I gotta get, man, I discombobulated. I didn't think we had any more games left. Otherwise, I wouldn't have totally interrupted it. Gotta get clear back down to the bottom.
I bet Jay took Baltimore.
Pats.
Nope,
Michigan
Jay took
football's
the
got New England. Henry's got New England. Jay's got the Pats.
Must win. That's what he's saying.
And
Big Mike, that's a
Big
must
Mike,
win for Baltimore.
must win
yeah,
for
Eric,
Baltimore.
it's a must win for Baltimore, Eric.
I
It's a
don't care.
must win. You
I
have
have
to change Eric. Eric's taking Baltimore.
very little faith in Baltimore.
Must win.
The
Eric.
Monday
It's all the
game.
difference in the world.
It
It's a
might be
must win.
win, but the Monday game, San Francisco 10-4.
Knuckles. Did he get that tattooed on there?
Yeah,
Must win.
6.5 point favorite at Indianapolis, 8-6. KJ, who you got? This is a
Oh,
must win for
man.
Indianapolis, by the way, to stay in it, but they're not gonna. So
Brock Purdy last weekend showed off. He had some Kevin Bacon moves with his footloose skills. Dancing.
you see
down-
that jump throw by Brock Purdy, by the way?
I saw that little taunting thing where he like stuck the ball out, like no, boo boo, you can't get it, kind of thing with the defender.
He's got a little of that in him.
A little sass, yeah. No, I'm definitely
Little
going
moxie.
49ers on this one. So I love Phillip Rivers, but yeah, it is what it is.
Hey, Philip Rivers almost got him a win last week. I was
He
impressed.
played good. He played good. I mean,
I'm still taking
you
San
can't dock a
Fran.
guy for extending his insurance coverage. Like,
Well,
come on, he's got
right.
a family of 12 kids. Get the
Guys,
deal break.
He didn't almost get him a win. He wasn't the reason they lost. There's a
Lost.
Yes.
distinct difference.
Yes,
There's a
you're
distinct-
right.
I mean, why not call your boy AJ McCarron? Why not call him? Why Phillip Rivers? Anyway, okay.
Old man River.
I digress. Give me the Niners.
Ed, who you got?
I got the Niners as well.
Clean
And I
sweep.
will say that my wife is in the Fantasy League Championship where we work, and her quarterback is Brock Purdy. So I got to root for him this week.
She needs it. Brett?
San Francisco.
Better check the comment line. Looks like Big Mike's got the Colts. Michigan football's got San Francisco. Jay says
Who's
Uncle
got San
Phil can't
Francisco?
do it. The Niners. Henry Scott, San Francisco. Uncle Phil can't do it. Okay, that
Programming note. Programming
Yeah.
note. Next week, the bottom line is taking the week off.
for Christmas.
Wednesday night is Christmas Eve, and all 5 of us would be bitch slapped if we had a Christmas Eve bottom line show. So that can't happen. But the following week, then, of course, New Year's Eve is on Wednesday night, but we've got a lot of big games to talk about. So we're moving Wednesday night to Tuesday night, after Christmas. So on the 30th of December,
Okay.
we will be
I can do
going
that.
on Tuesday night at 8 o'clock. But then after that, we'll be right back to our Wednesday nights at 8. But next week, everybody's going to enjoy the holidays.
Since we didn't cover this, and I know everybody's chomping at the bit to know, just to give you some score updates in the Cure Bowl, Old Dominion beat South Florida 24-10. And currently, with a minute
Ooh,
26
big
left in the
upset.
fourth, the 68 Ventures Bowl, Delaware is beating Louisiana, the Raging Cajuns, 20-13. I know everybody was on the edge of their seats for those.
If you're a UFL fan and you're not rooting for Delaware, I'm going to question your fanship. Just saying.
Anyway, anything else for the good of the cause?
Again, appreciate everybody allowing us to share our show to your page. If you would go to our page and give us a follow, give us a like.
Tell your mom about the show. Tell your mom she should
Yeah.
watch the show.
Yeah. I mean,
YouTube.
Bottom line, most eligible bachelor.
right. I mean, Merry Christmas to you, Henry. Merry Christmas to everybody. We
Yeah,
will
Merry Christmas all.
definitely be back after the Christmas holiday. Get in there between. So until then,
Oh,
We
and
will-
I got to thank Big Mike for the Christmas card. Thank you very much.
yes, thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Mike.
We all got them. Appreciate it.
Until then, see you in 2 weeks.
2 weeks.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas, everybody.
Merry Christmas.
And that's the